Yeah, I gotta be out of here at 7.
Oh, well, fuck. Arten's dead.
Arten's dead. He died.
He died as an old man.
He died on the way back to his home planet.
Home
He
planet?
died of, like, space diarrhea.
Space diary.
Oh god,
Space
With the astral
Are
spray, as it
y'all
were.
gonna put up a headstone in the middle of space that says Arten lies here, he died of dysentery? Because if so, I'm down.
Magical
Okay.
dysentery.
All right.
Magical dysentery, which is worse. That sounds like a spell that you would use.
Alright. My darlings, let us focus because we are slightly behind. Hi, I'm
Nice.
Neysa Cosplay. I am the DM for Tears of Kairos, the movie. Just really quick, around the table, you can see their character names there. If you want to name yourself, do so, and then we're jumping straight in.
Ninja Spence, Zhonya, Time Wizard.
Tal'gor, Barbarian.
Jed playing Arten, I'm a biter.
Okay. My name is Hugh, and I'm playing Fil'verl, the Astral Elf Sorlock.
Alright, after last time was essentially some downtime for y'all to kind of catch up and figure things out. After you did succeed with retrieving the first shard of the Heart of Kairos, you returned to Zrael by way of one of your callback keys, and you kind of got bumped off the track a little bit somehow or other. You didn't land directly back in Korra's hold, but you were able to make your way back without too much issue. But in Korra's hold, it definitely seemed like they've been having some issues. They informed you it'd been a couple weeks since you'd left. Time still seems to move differently no matter where you're going. They've had some run-ins with scouts from Finos Fade, essentially some of the cultists or soldiers under the Lucaran employ. They managed to repulse most of them, but obviously they've started scattering to kind of not be as big of a target. The Prince of the Wilds, Kalia, did let you guys know that she's going to try to keep some of her people here for whenever y'all come back again. However, she did give you information about if you ever come back and nobody's here, she told you a few places you could look. She gave you information about going to Pinus Town South
markers.
and the little stone cairns to kind of direct to various camps. With all of that information, y'all did some more trading with the Collector. You managed to get a lockbox, which you now have, I believe you've placed the shard in it for safekeeping. A few of you got some extra goodies. Was there anything I did not give stats for?
Well, there was the airship with like 8 guns and a whole crew, one of which was that really snarky gnome.
Oh yeah, and I got that mount. It's a...
Well, that's just Erebos.
Aha! You're making assumptions about the dynamic.
He is. He is.
He is. In any case, if y'all want an airship, put a note in my DMs because that could be arranged.
No, I will say this. Anytime an airship pops up in a game, 2 things happen.
Somebody falls off and dies?
No. Either they crash it, or the DM
We
gets
did that.
or the DM gets annoyed because all of a sudden the party goes, wait, what weapons do we have on this again? This many. How far away? This far. And then they literally just annihilate something from up in the air.
We did that.
But that's the only way an airship works, is either, what happened? I just gave you an overpowered weapon. Or what happened? Everybody died because nobody had proficiency in vehicles.
We did that too.
That's it. We don't have proficiency in vehicles, and we are going to a place with pirate ships. We're real close to airships.
So we get a pirate ship. Phil touches it. Everybody grabs onto Phil, and then we crush the crystal. And then there's going to be a piss dragon because there's going to be a boat in the middle of a box canyon.
Unless we find ourselves in a field again, and then there's going to be a boat in the middle of a field.
We have a clubhouse.
Where do you live? The boat. The boat where? The one in the field.
We live in a boat down by the river.
Alright.
Alright.
speaking of which, inspiration.
Inspiration for the night. And basically we left off. The Oracle of Strixhaven arrived out of the blue to retrieve the students that you'd unintentionally abducted. The 4 remaining students.
They'll be rescued.
Abducted.
They would have died, maybe.
No, okay. They were way more competent than us on like 80% of their roles. I'm pretty sure Glenn would have made it out before the whole cavern collapsed because and he had the other one on a leash.
Did have the other one on the leash.
So and Watcher would have been fine.
Watcher would have dug himself out.
2 weeks later.
Or dug himself down.
2 weeks
then out.
2 weeks later, just a hand comes out of the peaty bog. Some student.
He shows up for his midterm halfway through. I'm like, what? Where have you? It's like,
Buried.
it was underground.
Y'all remember if I laugh or cough. So, in any case, the Oracle of Strixhaven was able to kind of provide a little bit of information regarding what actually was going on. Y'all were able to clue her in. She was able to clue y'all in. Essentially, the guy who'd been organizing the whole Auric cult was essentially the one who got passed over for her position. So, pettiness. And
Academia.
Mm-hmm.
Academia.
If you can't have it, burn it. And the one student who turned into a giant black dragon and helped y'all get rid of the blood avatar that the Auric summoned. She was pretty positive that there was something planeswalker-ish about him. And then, so then y'all did your shopping things with the collector. Yeah, so, Nate, since you weren't here last week, is there anything that Tal'gor would want to trade or find to trade for with the collector?
In case you missed it, most of us traded away stuff we found in Strixhaven.
Mm-hmm.
Or had in Strixhaven.
Yeah, there was some, the ink pens got traded, I think.
I traded my dagger. I got a shield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe I'll take the mask because of the guy I killed.
Oh, yeah.
Let them look at it.
The collector is very interested in that. It's still kind of got like the like gunpowder blast of like purple smoke ingrained on it. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What is it?
It's a mask. It's cracked mask.
That's not how you do it. You just say what you want. Because he likes it because it's pretty. Like I pulled out the dagger and said, "This is a pretty dagger that you don't have."
What does
And
the
he
collector
said,
have?
Everything.
You.
It's a hoarder's tent.
You just
Oh, okay.
you just say something that you like.
Say
and
something you might be interested in, and he'll
Like-
either bring you something
like-
or something
I'm
similar.
looking for something like a potion of stone giant strength or something to increase my strength. I guess.
He would like something to make him stronger.
Yeah.
Give me a minute.
You have to be more broad.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. We'll do this more often.
I'm not a haggler in
No,
real life or in game.
No. My first interaction with the collector, I said, I want a cool crossbow that's pretty, and he brought me one that was onyx black and had the ability to like douse holy water on each bolt. The second time I said I want something to protect myself more, and I want it to be pretty. He brought me a +2 shield that has some cool ability. Just say you want it pretty.
Just eating onions.
I want pretty things, and
I do that too.
what's up, Shrek? And
I love barbecue and onion sandwiches.
Y'all give me a minute and actually see what I might be willing to part with here.
Okay.
you're willing to part with.
Anyway,
I have heard the horror stories from this one about giving too much too soon.
No.
My stats were kind of low for the barbarian, so I just want to try to
Okay.
pump them up a little bit.
Alright. Let me see what I can find.
basically, long story short, first time being a DM, sold a belt of Storm Giant Strength for 5,000 gold to a pugilist, homebrew off of the DM's guide. Even on because this is why that I also don't use the whole like half of your level magic item attunement rule anymore, because this certain player abused the living shit out of it.
Well, yeah.
And basically, a natural one he was level 7 with natural 1 still getting 22 to hit. With a natural 1.
No.
Yeah, you gave him too much. But
No.
it's still, nat 1 still missed.
No, that. DM is God. Nat 1 still misses.
Yeah.
You could always make it cursed.
You could always just
Why?
get every time you.
Oh, it's a belt of Storm Giant strength, but it also gives you Storm Giant rumblies, which at your size is going to be very disconcerting, and you can't get the belt off, so your pants are still stuck up. So you got to invest in butt flaps.
Yeah, but he was also
So-
the type of player that
It's
who
a belt of
had
Storm Giant
also.
strength. And the day I realized that was too much for you, all of my baddies have belt of Storm Giant's strength because
That he was the type.
they're just everywhere now.
He was the type
Fighting
to
Storm Giants with belts of
complain.
Storm Giant strength.
He was not the type
Yeah,
of
they
player to
multiply.
complain to where then I threw them up against orcs because then they were like level 8. Then he like, wait a minute, that these orcs 17 should hit this orc. No.
No, you don't get. You're not the DM. You don't get to say that.
Hey, meta. My disadvantage on next roll.
I make everything up.
I
off the
know
top of my
that
head.
better.
I'll take that.
No, it's the meanest thing I've done, and unfortunately, my wife is the individual that suffers that effect the most because she will find me working on stuff for games, and then forget that I didn't say it to the whole table. Then it's like, all right, disadvantage on your next roll. That's meta.
Okay.
Take notes, kids. That's a good idea.
So,
Mhm.
the collector brings back a moss green belt. Kind of got the whole like WWE look going on.
Okay.
It's pretty fancified.
Oh shit, you're getting the belt from the Undertaker, dude.
It's mossy green. It's got like vine work, and the lower edge has essentially what looks like grass, just engraved like grass, kind of under all the other vine work. If you are willing to make this trade, roll me a d20.
It went on the nose.
Damn.
That was straight
This is
white.
if
I'm
you
gonna
are
use my
willing to make
inspiration.
this. It's not a that kind of roll.
Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah, I'm willing to make it. It's a 3.
Okay. All right.
It's not that kind.
Okay. All right.
My bad.
It's okay.
I'm gonna hand over the mask.
16.
You get the belt.
Mm-hmm.
Get those out. Get rid of those ones.
Get rid of those ones.
So, okay. So your belt is a belt of hill giant strength,
Okay.
which will put your strength score to 21.
Oh God.
Nice.
Thank you.
But
Um,
I'm feeling a butt.
so they
And
went
it's not
to,
just
they-
because Erebos is still in the
Go ahead.
room with me.
They went to the collector the day before, and so you've got the day. Do you want to go ahead and put the belt on and start getting the feel for it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
After an hour,
Mhm.
you only understand Infernal.
Cool.
So when we talk to him,
Translation again. No, wait, does she?
Do I
She
speak
knows
as an
Elvish
infernal, or is
and
it?
Infernal.
You can still speak whatever languages you had, but you can only understand
Oh,
Infernal.
Oh, this is fun.
Do I need like a remove curse to take it off?
We're gonna have to work on that. We're gonna have to work on that one because
Basically, yeah.
this is immediately a thing we got to deal with.
That's a
fun.
problem.
3 was a good roll.
I got
there
I got
were
common,
others that
Elvish,
were-
and Dwarvish.
I've
I mean,
only got
obviously-
common and
Common, Primordial, Elvish, and
Obviously, Erebos speaks
And,
Infernal, so like,
yeah.
it's-
Obviously, Erebos speaks Infernal.
so it's not entirely terrible, but
But do I understand infernal, or I'm just
you can only understand Infernal.
Okay.
And so even if you go to speak in your previously known languages, to you it's going to sound like you're talking gibberish.
Okay.
Because right now, you can only understand Infernal.
I got
We
you.
worked so hard.
To get you to talk, and now you can't hear for shit.
Just Tal'gor, you alright?
You hear...
I don't hear anything he says.
Is something wrong with your ear?
it's some
I don't have ears.
Is
It's just the
everything
hole.
okay?
Something wrong with your hole.
Is there a fleshy membrane issue?
Is it there was something wrong with that
He's shrugging.
ritual?
I don't know. Alright, whatever.
I don't know. That it's just back to.
Are you talking in Infernal? Because if you're not talking in Infernal,
No,
you can't
that-
understand.
Is he talking
my
to
handy
us?
writing.
Are you talking to us at all?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
I'm like, I can't understand you.
If you go back
Did
to
you say that?
writing, when you're writing in common, it looks like gibberish to you.
Oh, really? So I can't even communicate.
The keyword is
only
understand.
Oh.
Okay.
And so even if you write down
False.
an ABC from memory, to you it looks like sigils you don't understand.
Okay. I'm gonna write blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Oh, that you are.
It looks like he's having a stroke.
Jesus.
This is the green belt of strokes. Get this thing off him. Can I take the belt off of him?
That's up to y'all.
I still have
I am
the.
trying to take the
bracelet
belt off.
of
If you yell that, Phil's
thoughts.
just going to be over here like,
Okay.
no.
I'm gonna stop him from taking off the belt. I'm just gonna take it off myself, or
Okay.
attempt to.
So, with detect thoughts, you'll be able to feel like Tal'gor's like frustration and be able to kind of roll me an Arcana to see how well you're interpreting what's going on. How about that?
That is a 7. That is an 18.
You're pretty sure that something has happened to his ability to comprehend language.
Take half.
It appears that Tal'gor cannot understand common, and he's pretty frustrated.
Well, what can he understand anything?
I am going to try Primordial, Tal'gor.
I'm trying.
Elvish, Tal'gor. Infernal,
Come on, Leonin.
Tal'gor.
Hello.
Oh.
Can I communicate?
Again, when
Is this
you
gonna be like blah, blah, blah?
no, you can
I'm just gonna nod then.
when you speak.
I get it. I
it
get it. I
sounds
get it. I
garbled.
get it. I get
We
it.
But it
understand
sound-
you.
Yeah,
You
but
They can
like,
understand-
after you
but-
speak it, it's like where you're talking
when-
like this and you can't really understand yourself.
When he
because
says
you don't know
infernal,
exactly
you
what
can
you're
definitely
saying.
go, that. I know.
Yeah.
I got that one.
But
What
you
point
could probably
that's
also, you might not hear it, but if you went, yes, we'd all be like,
The fuck?
It only appears that he can only understand Infernal.
Wait, you can talk infernal?
Yes, I can.
I didn't hear you say that was in your thing earlier.
okay, so that sucks.
I don't know that language.
I don't either.
Lucy, oh, of course you know that language. Okay, so two of us can talk to him.
I have a question.
Yeah, but
Yes.
he won't understand when you say step into a Slim Jim.
We're gonna
Does
have
that
to-
include sign language?
Arcane magic just
Oh,
overcomes.
so many insight checks to figure out body language. This is a mean curse.
Okay, so what we're gonna do here to make this fair is, generally speaking, and then like politically speaking, sign language is a language. But for the purposes of a curse that primarily is only going to affect audio and rune-bound communication, roll a D100. If it's over 50, sign language will still work for you.
D100?
Mhm.
I'm sorry, they just sent me what my 13th check will be.
It's okay.
Is it looking good?
Yeah, yours is even better, from what I've heard.
Ours
It's over
is nowhere.
50?
Over 50.
Ours is nowhere as good as they
57.
were saying it was.
Oh, really?
Sign
I like their
sign
sign.
language will still work.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna just...
Looking at
I'm not gonna do it on screen, because I don't want to offend anybody if I don't know sign language. I'm not making a
Right.
joke.
We're basically back
this is what we're
to
looking at,
Okay.
and some change.
Yeah. Still better than mine.
Oh,
Right here. Good job.
Good
no.
job.
There's-
Mine is more, but... More than it was last year, but not one
It
now.
was more than it. Sorry, no. This is an issue that already has the teachers' union going to Baton Rouge to ask some questions.
Wolf.
Anyway,
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Politics
I'm sorry.
aside.
I didn't mean to...
no,
derail
no,
us, so let's go
that's
ahead.
fine.
Okay. So yes,
Unions are good.
sign language
Unions
will
are good.
still work for you. You're back to square one.
And honestly, I'm cool with it, because I'm strong as hell.
All right.
You know, hell is notoriously strong. When people think of hell, they think that place is strong. Nothing else.
You wonder why it's infernal that I chose. Because puns. All right. So we'll go ahead and skip ahead to the next morning. The speaker of Loifa comes. The voice the mouthpiece. Oh my god. Comes to your tent and gestures for you all to gather all your stuff. She'll take you back to the gates.
Okay.
So back up through the
Scoop.
Question, DM, with as long as it was since I gave him fire breath, have we had time for a short rest since I did that?
Oh yeah, I had fire breath. I forgot about that. He gave me fire breath and I started running around and just...
I'll allow it. I'll be
Okay,
generous.
if that's the case, I'm going to use meta magic to convert a warlock spell slot to spell points, which will, because I can do that, and so that will give me 3 spell points, 2 of which are going to go back into, give me back my 2nd level spell slot, and at the end of that short rest, I get my warlock spell slot back. Fuck, I have made myself do so much math.
Math is hard.
Clever boy.
No, not a clever boy. Also, I keep putting my fat ass off camera.
Okay.
Yes. Was the belt able to come off, or is it stuck, right?
You can take it off. It's not cursed to stay on you.
Okay.
It's just now that you're attuned to it and wearing it.
I gotcha. So if I'm not attuned to it, I can. So it's basically my choice just to be a dick, to be strong and. Okay.
Yes.
I got you. I'm just making. I was just like,
just keep the belt on.
I'm gonna keep it on.
If you're going to use the belt, you can only understand Infernal incoming to you, but you can communicate out in sign language without effect.
I think the non-meta answer for this particular situation was you take the belt off, you can still only understand Infernal, and so you say, screw it, I'm putting the belt back on so I can be strong again.
Yeah, that's the only thing I was asking.
Like that's...
Or until you unattune to it.
Yeah.
Or remove the curse from the item itself.
Cool.
I
just wanted...
I get finicky on how, like, I don't want to be nitpicky about how
Honestly,
cursed items work. It's not that much of a curse.
I've just played.
It's just a joke.
Since like second ed, and all cursed items you had to use remove curse. I just wanted clarification. I think it's hilarious.
The item itself will continue to be cursed. You can unattune to the item whenever you like, and therefore not be cursed anymore.
I just love the fact that it's 100% my choice.
Shit. I was trying to do this sneaky, and I can't.
What?
What are you doing?
You did the exact opposite of sneaky.
Yes, I know.
Like, let's slowly sneak over there. No one sees me, and then the camera
And
turns
then that is
the
live,
exact
too.
wrong direction. Look at that beautiful face
Shut up.
right there. That's the one I was
I hate
talking
all
about.
of you.
It's very crooked. I'm looking at the screen over here. There's enough. You've got enough room, right? It's just tilt.
What was wrong with it, Hewitt? I thought it
Because
was
I
fine.
kept going off, or
If he leaned back in his chair, he was off screen. And so he wanted
He's just
to,
a narcissist. That's all it is.
Oh, yeah, Nate, I'm
I
a
mean, Phil
narcissist.
is, but...
Phil doesn't even understand what that word means.
but he does qualify for the.
Spencer.
Fudge.
Technical difficulties.
Maybe that is why it needed to be so much higher up.
You're gonna need to zoom in on that shirt. Make him know what the merch looks like.
Please
Man, we
contact
got one
us about
viewer.
merch.
We've always had one viewer.
Alright, that's fine.
Oh, well, now I'm getting the DM's camera in shot.
You gotta go back.
That's not that big a deal, though. It's not that big a deal. Don't worry about it.
That's
Oh,
not
I
that
didn't worry
big a
about
deal.
it.
It's not a boom mic in a movie.
Yeah, we're good.
Don't back up
People
too
know
far.
that cameras exist.
Yeah.
Go back down.
You're gonna have to go underneath that.
No, I'm just. My butt
It
is
looks
on
good.
Neyssa's screen. I feel bad. My
At
butt
least
is.
it's not Harry Crack, man.
My next character name.
Harry Crack.
I think I made it worse.
It's fine.
Yeah, dude, it's fine. Come on,
It's fine.
let's do it.
No,
We
we
are-
will fix it on break.
Y'all keep going. I can
We're
still
good.
talk from here.
Okay.
Fine.
Like I can pay attention. Okay. Yes, you could have a short
Talking
rest,
to the mouth.
and not really. She's basically just leading y'all back into the mountain.
Okay.
You head up, following the mouthpiece, back to the same cavern. Loifa is not there
Oh.
today.
Did she go out to get some smokes?
Where's the dragon?
The mouthpiece does not respond.
It's
If
important.
you'll remember, or the DM will remind you, the mouthpiece does not speak anything except ancient Zraelin.
You know that, right?
I know that information. I don't know that language, obviously.
It's basically a form of old, like a really antiquated form of common. And Prince Kalia speaks it. Some of the other elders of the Quran and Singers speak it, but not you guys.
I go and tap her on the shoulder, and I just motion to where the god used to be, and
She's out looking.
She's looking. Where
Okay.
do we stand in center?
She points to, I forgot what color I said it was, and I'm going to end up retconning myself. I can't do that, because if I do that, then I'm fucked.
you don't want that.
I knew we should have taken that like that Albuquerque.
The really emerald gate.
I guess that we go to the Emerald Gate.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay. Now, just so we're all on the same page, whose port key was it that got used? You have no port key. They do. Erebos does. There are only 4 port keys left for y'all at this point.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
That's one a world.
So,
Unless we're split up and all have to come back at the same time, and then we have to break more than one.
See, you can't like just go and feel positive for 3 seconds here.
No.
I know it's just whirring to me, but I'm listening intently. I'm trying to focus.
okay. So, the gate is wide enough that 3 of you could go through it once, so like side by side, or you could all go 1 by 1, or 2 by 2 and 1. What are your choices?
Stop. Look at all of them. So, you ready?
Phil's already
Yeah.
through the door.
Phil's already going.
Erebos translates for Tal'gor.
Oh,
I
You
guess.
go to grab Erebos' hand, interdigitize,
Interdigitize.
and then
Do your tail shove.
Of course they
and we
do.
we do the tail thing as well, and then we walk through together because I'm not getting split up from him.
it's adorable.
Yes,
All right.
my door is a bull.
Who's next?
Okay.
I'll let you go.
Alright then, Zarina.
Go at the same
The
time.
last through?
Hmm?
That puts you last through?
No, Phil.
me.
What?
He
Phil
went
already
first.
went
Oh,
through.
okay.
As I was asking what we do, and he
Yeah,
was
Phil's
even
just
going.
like I was told I had to do something.
Phil.
Yeah.
And this will go for all of you, but like in that order of who went through at what point. Phil, as you step through, you feel the same like shunting along a interdimensional tunnel that you've kind of started getting used to with all this back and forthness. You feel it's not quite the same like push to the side that you felt coming back to Zrael. It's almost like a turbulence, like judder, after a couple of seconds.
Phil's gonna be like, I can't fucking tell them that there's turbulence.
And then you feel yourself pulled out of the interdimensional tunnel, and there's nothing beneath your feet for about 20 feet, and then there's water. And you're falling toward it.
Phil just. Well, fuck.
Sploosh!
Because no, I got nothing to help with. So I guess that's that's check.
You rolling death saves already? What are you about to do?
I'm doing athletics to see if Phil doesn't fucking belly flop. Phil fucking belly flops. That's a 4. Phil's like, huh? Oh shit.
I add more than that to my athletics check. 4.
I have a 2 and I rolled a 2. I'm on
I have
brand.
a +6 to an athletics check.
I'm
I can.
on brand. I'm about to take at least 2d6 of bludgeoning damage into the ocean.
Okay. That's 8 for you.
All right, that's fine.
It's not terrible.
No, that's about average.
The same thing happens for Erebos and Arten.
The exact same?
The exact same thing. As you look down, you see the bubbles of Phil trying to resurface.
Oh,
Phil,
fuck.
make me a dex save
Huh?
to try to get out from under them as they're falling on top of you.
Fuck, you're in plate mail, so Erebos.
No. Chainmail. Different. But it's gonna suck.
Yeah, here's the
I'm in
deal.
chainmail and I have a backpack.
Here's the deal.
Full of stuff.
I'm not worried about Erebos because I could make an argument. He'll hit and go out. He's gonna go straight down. So
I'm going straight down. I have enough time to.
hold on.
Brain
I think I got.
I have enough time to
No,
yell,
that's-
move!
Fucking what?
Huh? And just.
Yeah, I rolled.
Okay.
I rolled 5.
Arten and Erebos both make essentially acrobatics to try to either control your fall or otherwise avoid falling on Phil.
Look, acrobatics to avoid him.
Okay.
Right?
Essentially, it's just kind of one check to just
like
try to
17
figure something out.
to not hit Phil.
Okay. Phil, you essentially, Arten drops like right behind you. It kind of, the wave kind of pushes you away. Tell me this. Can Phil tread water?
Yeah.
Cool. Alright.
Phil knows how to swim.
Alright, cool. So...
I'd like to point out lions and tigers swim. I just don't like it.
Alright.
We swim. Just not happy.
That's a lot of shit you're carrying to swim.
I know. I am aware.
Alright, Arten, 5 bludgies
5 bludgies.
for hitting the water from 20 feet up.
You didn't clinch.
I did clinch. I clinched to get away from you.
Ouch. That's kind of mean.
That's hurtful.
That's-
It would have been more hurtful if I didn't clinch.
Okay. Alright, and then,
Down to 105.
essentially as Erebos and Arten are surfacing, and Phil's just still kind of bobbing away on, like a cork on the current, you two, same thing. Shudder, step out, there's no floor underneath. Drop it.
Tal'gor, wait,
So-
you got
so
a swim speed.
Knowing that's what happened to me,
Oh no.
I would
That's a
assume
8.
this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
And so there would immediately be some...
I use
quick to the
acrobatics. That is an 8.
Can I use athletics? Or do I
Yeah.
have to use?
Can the fact that I know what's about to happen give them some kind of advantage to not hit?
So they're basically rolling to see if they can mitigate any of their bludgeoning damage.
That's fair.
Do we need to do
Where's-
dex
yeah,
saves
that's a
again to
9.
make sure they don't fall on us?
No, because that's
You got pushed
that's
away,
literally
and I
what we're
knew
doing.
Okay.
I knew what was going on.
17.
Or I had some insight of what was about to happen, so I was like, swim away, swim away.
Zhonya, you drop in for essentially 7 bludgies. You kind of land a bit on your back. Tal'gor, take 3 of them for hitting the water.
Okay.
Is it
I'm
just a
gonna
bunch
I'm
of
gonna keep
steam
going
around
too,
Zhonya?
just because I'm like a water
She's
sauna.
doused,
Yeah.
but then
Yeah.
she just kind of comes up just like, well, I guess that all of those swimming trainings paid off.
Okay.
It sucks.
So essentially,
No.
I'm gonna come under.
Can we see any land?
Pull him down a little bit.
Can I see any
Fuck!
land?
Phil's not fun. This is Phil. Just,
This is how it ends. This is it.
okay.
Then I'll come back.
So,
and hold him like this.
As freebie, yes, you can see land. There is land both behind you and in front of you. At first glance,
Compass.
it appears you're in
When I
some
get to
kind of
land.
some kind of a river stretch
Yeah.
between 2 land masses. Now,
Moving water?
slow moving.
Okay.
It's
No.
not. It's not a very strong current.
Scared for a second, so thank you.
It's not a very strong
Compass first, because I don't want to swim to one side and then have to cross anything else.
Fuck
We-
you.
How are you
And
able to
I
have
swim
this
to the land. You tell me
Alright.
compass first.
current. Do me a favor then. Make an investigation roll as to whether you're going for the one behind you or the one ahead of you.
Telling me to pull out my compass while I'm treading water, holding a backpack, wearing chainmail. No!
Well, investigation or perception, your choice. If one's better than the other, you can have it.
Phil's just gonna look at whoever's in. I mostly meant it so that none of us had to swim again after swimming to the wrong place.
12.
You're just like, just get me out of here, and you're just kitty paddling toward the one that's ahead of you. Okay. Just for my own brain, you're essentially heading to the east shore.
Okay.
Okay. So, is anyone going to the other side, or are we all following Arten?
Don't split the party.
All right,
I'm
cool.
gonna follow Arten.
We kind of got to stay together.
There is no reason.
You ain't gonna rock this flat.
There is no reason why you all will be able to make it. Those of you that have armor are strong enough or agile enough to be able to counter that. You're only about 50 yards from shore. So you make it. Go ahead and place minis out along the shore.
And I need to get
Boy,
the dog stats out.
I forgot to level her up. So we'll do that over
Break.
Oh, I got a blink dog mini now.
If you want to do that, do that.
It's
Otherwise,
not
I've got
painted.
the.
It's not painted though.
I've still got the
Giganimous doggo.
girl.
So we get to shore, we take backpack off, a little breather, and then pull out the compass.
Excuse
Like,
me.
it doesn't really matter because we're not going directly to a stone.
Thank you. Get
Last-
on
last
land
time
and
there was
just
so much-
basically pop out just at her
See, at this
beret.
point, it would serve us right if the DM decided that me and you being smartasses was it just points back towards the ocean.
And just that is everybody needs to be dried off a little bit.
Prestidigitation.
Alright. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to drop
And 1 foot of Phil's outfit is dry.
I'm going to drop a map document into the Discord channel just so I can more easily describe what the compass is pointing to.
Okay.
Stand by, let me find this. There it is.
Stand by.
Just while that we are just getting our bearings together, that just gonna just do produce flame and just go over everybody once. So you're getting blow dried.
So while we're like pulling up our discords and everything, let me just throw out this one real quick. Does the symbol for Discord remind anybody else of Mickey Mouse's pants?
A little bit.
Now that you say it,
Because that's all I've ever seen is like, this is Mickey Mouse's shorts. Why is that the symbol for Discord?
It's
That's
supposed
weird.
to be like an X controller, right?
The hell it is, that's Mickey Mouse's
Yeah.
shorts.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I always thought it kind of looked like a cow nose.
I can see cow nose.
Alright, we're switching the audio.
Now I see his pants. I didn't before, but I do now.
Yeah.
What hath been seen cannot be unseen.
There's so much of that shit.
yay,
Oh.
this island. That's
Okay.
an island.
So, where y'all are on the map, on the kind of eastern quadrant, you'll see a little marker for Quetzalcoatl. Y'all are on the shore a little bit, essentially northwest of Quetzalcoatl. It's on the east of Orozca.
Oh, I see it.
Okay. So you're just a little bit northeast of Quetzalcoatl. The river that you were in, behind you was essentially a sandbar island. And kind of in this like doldrum space
We're
on the
just
edge of
kind
the
of
river.
like right here.
Okay.
Correct.
So we're kind of where that dot is, a little bit above.
Yes. Like
Where-
where the U is in Quetzalcoatl.
Okay. Where's the compass pointing?
The compass is pointing almost, it's very southwest. On the map, it seems to be pointing near Primal Wellspring direction.
Is that on the other side of the body of water we landed in?
No.
Okay.
Well, yes, but
Kind of. We're here.
We're here.
We're at this U right there,
Uh-huh.
and it's pointing to here.
Yeah, down here.
And so if we're right there, we would be looking this way to be across the rivers, but down there.
Okay.
And so the answer is yes and no, because it's not directly across where we would have swam. It's way down there. But
that is the direction. Remember that I'm only able to give you direction, not
So
distance.
that
with
is
the
Phil
compass.
not being a smartass currently.
yeah, doesn't matter, because much like trying to find a good parking spot when you show up at Walmart, we're about to walk forever anyway.
Alright.
It
I'm
doesn't
gonna find
matter.
a dinosaur to
Hey, we just okay. I hope we hear that, but Tal'gor doesn't know he said that.
I guess I don't have any idea what you were talking about. But
Tal'gor
I'm still
just
gonna
Phil-
say it.
I will remind y'all, Phil was talking when y'all were discussing about where to go next. Phil did mention that his goddess wants
Bones.
dinosaur teeth and
Yeah,
claws,
teeth and claws.
essentially. Big feisty lizard teeth and claws. And so y'all may have an idea at least that big feisty lizards are around.
that
Is that a little too loud?
No, my child is.
Tal'gor
The
will you
cicadas
be
did get a
able
little
to
loud.
tame one of those beasts?
You can-
Yes.
What's gonna
Alright. So,
Okay.
the appearance, the environment around you. You're standing on a stretch of beach, and all around you is, like up the beach and on both north and south, is pure, unadulterated jungle environment. We're talking enormous trees, we're talking vines, ferns, marshy undergrowth, and I do have a picture, two pictures actually. Two pictures, because I cannot do justice to the art that the Wizards of the Coast people offer.
Hope we find a lizard
Drop
give
in
it
the
a ha.
Discord.
and a hi yeah.
The first image is essentially the river landscape, and the lower image is what I'm about to describe, which is
Oh, you're sending stuff.
to the southeast of you is a the kind of perking through the foliage and the overgrowth are what is clearly the ruins of a city. You can see brickwork and molded stonework, exposed timbers, like rafters, and even under over the ambient sounds of the river behind you and the bugs and birds that are calling all around, you hear some rather loud and raucous shrieking sounds. At least to Tal'gor's ears, they are very reptilian, more so than bird.
Okay.
And it definitely sounds like a pack of some kind of creatures. And if everybody would make me general perceptions, to see how much more detail you maybe could make out.
Shit. I haven't rolled above a 5 yet.
Oh no.
I am not paying attention.
Not paying
There's a lot
attention.
going on.
I got a whole 5.
Same.
Wow. Okay.
Are we just bickering about something and not paying attention?
I'm
Still
trying to
red.
understand.
Erebos?
Sounds like it's coming from the ruins.
Went to the ruins?
From the ruins?
I was gonna say we
Oh.
should go to the ruins.
Yeah, no, he doesn't hear anything more than just the shrieking sounds again.
Well, here's what I was going to say is that although those are ruins, that those buildings look civilized enough to where there could have been a road that led to it, and if there's a road that led to it, it would lead to somewhere else.
That
So if you
is
want to
good
have
logic.
some kind of civilized conversation with someone, I would say that would be the best bet.
So the edge of the ruins appears to be about maybe a quarter mile from y'all. If y'all start heading in that direction, yes, no, maybe so. Cool.
I need a consensus. I'm not just going to lead y'all blind
Yeah.
into the streaking.
Okay.
I got to get teeth.
I'm not in the capacity to make decisions.
You're all like, yeah, sure, let's go kill the thing.
Well, I mean, between Erebos and Zhonya, to kind of make this easier on
Yeah.
us, between Erebos and Zhonya, we'll be translating for you kind of on a
Okay.
running basis. So at least that you understand what is being talked about.
Okay.
And can express yourself if possible. So, after you've covered about half the distance to the edge of the ruins that are visible to you, the beach is starting to give way toward more of the little bit of grassland and brush that get before you get to the actual jungle proper, and you do see what appears to be the wreck of a small ship. maybe not more than a 10, 15 person vessel, like a small longboat or something.
Yeah.
But basically wrecked up on the shore. And there are obvious blood trail and other tracks. Doesn't take even a check to follow it from the boat to the ruins.
Search the ship. I would like to look in the ship, see if there's anything like investigation.
I'm going to give one myself.
We'll assist. Well, no.
I rolled a 19.
I rolled a 21.
I can roll again because he's assisting.
No, that'll be perfectly
All
fine.
right, good. Because
I'm just standing guard.
wasn't gonna get any better.
Okay. For the most part, the ship appears to have been stripped of any useful items. You don't find any weapons. You do find actually, we'll make this fair. Roll me a d10, the both of you.
Okay.
7.
5.
Okay.
Suck it. Beat your father.
You do find Arten. You find a leather pouch that, when you open it up, does have a set of bone dice inside. They're engraved rather than painted. Little bits of vine work. It's very detailed work. It's a set of 5 6s.
5 6s bone dice. Got it.
And Zhonya, you had got a 7, right?
I got a 5.
Okay. Sorry. And Zhonya, you find a velvet doublet that is it's really fancy work. Like, it's black and white color blocks. Kind of got almost like not quite a Harlequin look to it. It's more like bars rather than blocks. But the places where buttons should be, the buttons have been torn away, leaving only frayed threads. But the doublet itself is velvet. There is a slight blood stain on one side of the collar.
Oh.
You can either take it or leave it.
I would just keep it.
Okay. Alright, so
Got some fancy dice to trade. I mean, to keep.
It appears that, what did you find?
Found some dice, which means that they were somewhat civilized because they knew how to play games.
I mean, that they
So
were...
not complete savages.
I mean, that they were a sharp dresser, because look at this doublet, even though that there's a bit of blood on the left collar.
Which indicates something happened other than just a shipwreck. Something attacked them? Or...
no, but beverage. Just for my own being able to track these things down later if needed.
Just putting pieces together.
Write down, beside your dice, write down 25 BC. These are notations for me if I need to ask you for it later. Write down 25 LD.
Okay.
These dice are freaking old.
It's not that indicator.
Nope, they're freaking old.
It's not that kind of indicator.
You can't prove me wrong
you
right
know what?
now.
I can! I am the DM and I say so. It is my world. Question me not. The shrieking sounds are louder now that you are closer, and underneath the shrieking sounds you can hear voices. They're speaking a form of common. They're still at distance, so it's difficult to make out, but you do hear the occasional word that you can make out, though there is accent there. You hear what sounds like a male saying, "Keep them away from Serena!" You hear a deeper, gruffer voice kind of saying, "On the left!"
It seems like people need help.
Seems like they're handling it, but... Well, they're already in the direction we're going, so let's keep going.
Yeah.
Okay. So, are you all going to follow the trail from the ship? Remember, there was a blood trail and, like, obvious tracing.
You want to go to the blood trail?
Is that the direction, or is it?
Generally, yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like maybe they're
Yeah,
a little bit.
let's
just
follow
be
the ominous
prepared.
blood trail into
Let's
the
just
into
be
the
prepared,
thick,
though.
dense forest.
I'm just gonna go ahead and just get the great axe out.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely pulling out the weapon with reach.
All right. Another few
Think of
minutes.
reach.
Another few minutes of walking brings you into the ruins proper. These are very large buildings. The closer and closer you got, the more obvious that these buildings are. That's going to be a little
Yeah,
loud
that's
in
gonna
here,
be
bud.
loud,
I don't think
Vincent.
you're supposed to be playing in here. Try again.
Again, Vincent.
Pick it up, go back to the other room,
Another room.
and
Oh no! Out! I did trailer!
Anyway,
I'm sure Jed is very happy you're playing with Kira.
Oh yeah.
okay.
I got him that for her birthday.
So we blame you.
For bringing a child joy, yes, you can blame me all you want.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jed.
Welcome.
Let's see here. So the blood trail leads you into the ruins proper. There are cobblestone streets under your feet, under the grass, and just genuine mildew growth of a humid environment. And the buildings themselves are all kind of oversized. Most of the first floor windows are 25 feet up. Looking in through some of the open arch doorways into them, you can see that the remnants of whatever furniture there was were all arrayed around the edges of the rooms. Doesn't seem like anything was left in the middle. Seems like every one of these ground floor rooms was left open for the most part. There are the remnants of old claw marks in the stone of the first floors, actual floors, and some of them even have what appear to be like dips or hollows with old bits of thatch laid in them, almost reminiscent of nests.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the shrieking and the human voices get louder and louder as you follow the ever-increasing trail of blood, until you finally round the last corner into kind of an alleyway. And ahead you see a barricade that's been kind of thrown together between a few of these enormous buildings, just cobbled together out of head-sized chunks of masonry and fallen timbers, charred beams, the remnants of a few wagons, and what looks like maybe some kind of construction scaffolding toppled across as well. In front of the barricade, closer to on your side of things, there are quite the handful of small, only about knee high, bipedal lizards. They have very thick and bristly feathers coming off their heads as they are essentially trying to scramble up. Some of them are sliding down. They're almost like macaws using their beaks to try to actually climb. You can hear the wood kind of cracking in their jaws. You do also see kind of pacing, almost like stalking behind all of these smaller ones, again closer to you, is a larger individual of very the same style, but almost 3 times as large, man-sized.
okay.
On the top of the barricade are let me get my notes. You can see a single human and a goblin with crossbows firing down at the raptors. So what we're going to do is we're going to just draw the barricade and the alley situation. Yeah. And so y'all will be kind of...
Let's see. What is that, right? Human? Goblin?
Mm-hmm.
So we're coming up behind the people with crossbows?
No, we're coming up behind the dinosaurs.
The dinosaurs are going to be out here.
The people with crossbows could actually shoot us as we're coming up.
So let me get.
We're actually about to flank the dinosaurs. Because crossbows.
So what we're going to do here is we're going to use
Raptors.
this one might not stand. Hang on.
I have raptor minis. I have
We
no
just
clue.
couldn't find
I just don't know where they are.
Lame.
So what we're going to do is we're going to use this one as the big one, even though it's a Rexy mini.
Blue.
And then we're going to go ahead and break out some more Hewitt's miniatures. These aren't going to be accurate at all, but they will at least give you pieces to aim for.
They'll die, and so they'll be that accurate.
I'm concerned there's so many.
Oh, hello.
What?
It's a heaping, hopping, helping handful of.
That's a lot.
Oh, hello.
Have you
It's
seen
a lot of
new-
littles.
Have you seen the new Dryad minis they put out? They just refreshed.
Kind of
the
spread them
I
out.
have not seen the newest ones. However, I did see that they re-released the Night Vault version of the Revenant Knights that had the 4 with one being a Bramble Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And they finally re-released that, and it was $17. So I bought it, and I bought the Necromancer-looking Plague Doctor Skaven, so I could get free shipping.
All right.
So I have minis to
Let's
do.
keep it fun.
Right. So as you all are coming up on this, and the goblin catches sight of you over the like kind of between a few of the raptors trying to claw their way up, and says, my brain just went entirely blank. If you're gonna help us, help!
Well,
We're
it's time.
dying back here.
The Goblin.
And I speak up to my crew. Well, it's time to curry favor with the locals, and I just charge in at the big one because you killed the big one and the little ones might run. So
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You'll
well,
follow.
then, my darlings, roll some initiative.
It's still so fun.
it makes me so happy.
Okay,
I get to use
okay. I
feral
finally rolled above a 5.
for the first
Finally
Proud
rolled
of you.
above a 5.
Okay.
7.
I
Okay.
rolled a 7.
That's okay.
7.
I got excited. I looked over as a 7.
That's okay. I can take this for once.
Yeah, you did one better.
Did one better.
You did one better, kid.
Yeah.
What you get?
I got a 10.
Oh my god.
I got a 9.
I'm still higher than y'all, and then I rolled low.
Okay.
We all rolled low?
I got a
So
17.
what am I hearing over there? Who's got what?
I got 10.
Okay. 10.
Okay.
I'm going to wait until you got other stuff thrown up there.
Okay. Erebos is going to be sitting up here. If I turn him the right way. Oh, that's right. Okay. Zhonya, what you got?
Zhonya had got a 16. Zarina got a 12.
It's so nice to have Zarina back.
Okay.
I got a 17.
Zhonya, you had a 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, Phil?
9.
Okay. Alright, so I'm going to use the green one for the big guy and one of these for the little guys. Okay, so...
Who attack with pack tactics?
We don't know that yet.
No, we don't know that
I
yet.
don't know anything.
I
Are
assume.
raptors even known to go in
What was
packs?
Serena's again? I'm sorry.
I think
12.
It's like one of their defining traits.
I don't know if
I
that's
think you
the
pulled
thing.
that out of your ass.
I think one's going to be a clever girl.
Oh god.
So,
Okay, they're actually going to be right smack in between. What did Zhonya get?
16.
Basically they're all attacking between
you're going
Zhonya
for
and
the big
Serena.
guy.
Okay.
So
I'm
I'm
going
just
to
going
let
to
you
do
do
it
that
that way.
on screen.
Okay. Alright,
It's kind of
so
mow
Okay.
down the rest. Sure, that's fine.
order of operations is going to be Erebos, Tal'gor, Zhonya, all my raptor babies, Zarina, Arten, and Phil.
What about Goblin and Human?
Oh, yes, we will.
And big boy.
They can leave some arrows.
The big boy is with the,
all the raptor babies.
What about Gobbert and Nero and Delroy?
literally in the same exact initiative. So it's just going to be all of my creatures.
Cool.
I am so sorry. It's gonna be a whole damn cutscene.
No, a whole cutscene of you just rolling dice by yourself.
I'm gonna do it in like swarm as much as possible, so it's just faster. But yeah.
That's fair.
I'm planning on running in there, so I'm assuming they're all just gonna.
Okay. So.
Yeah, the two of y'all running it. Oh, remember, you got the heart thingy I gave you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have temporary HP.
So.
I do not have that down here.
Erebos is just going to fire off a couple
I
of
think it was 25.
shots.
Yeah, wasn't it 25 on the heart thingy?
Correct. That sounds very, very accurate.
It's in here somewhere.
Okay.
Wow. Rolling the same exact
That was you.
thing. Okay, that's weird. Erebos does not get a single hit off. So, Tal'gor, that's going to be you.
Those are warning
First
shots.
thing I'm gonna do is
You better
rage,
run.
obviously.
Okay.
Bonus action, then just jump into where the little raptors are, and just.
Start
Start
swinging.
spinning in a
gonna
circle
go
while
swing.
pointing my axe
I'm
out.
just gonna swing at the closest one.
Okay.
Since I have Hill Giant Strength, it's gonna be fun.
Indeed.
Kill it, kill it.
I got an 11.
Does not hit.
This next
Does
one's
not-
gonna be a relentless attack.
Regulus.
Okay.
Let's say, does not have hill giant accuracy.
Well, I'm just getting warmed up. I'm a little rusty. 21 on both.
That will do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did hit it.
Alright, it's 18. That's max damage. That's a 20.
Okay. Alrighty. You eliminate one of the little guys.
Pop.
Just cleave into.
It does the first time, the second time. That's why I have 2 axe heads.
Pull it up farther into the green so you're not confusing it with the.
Yeah.
Alright, so.
No, that's going to be collateral damage if I do that, because everybody's so
I'm
good.
raging.
Okay,
Just
that's
do
all
it.
for you, right?
That's what I'm here for.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, Zhonya, you're up.
Let's see. I am just reading this new spell, so. Okay. So what you all see is just basically that there is basically like a ticking clock that's kind of like up in like the little air, like a little time sigil, and then I'm about to do gravity sinkhole. So I need all of them to make a Constitution
What's
saving
the
throw.
radius?
It's a 20-foot radius.
Oh
Me
my
too.
god!
It's me too, right?
Yeah, so it's just a little thing right up there.
And what's the.
Hold on.
What type of save again?
Con.
Con.
Alright, let me check
Just get
this.
You said 20-foot radius?
Yes.
So that is, where are you centering it? Because we
Centering it in the air
I'm
about
gonna
right
spend
here.
it in
That
inspiration.
means Arten, your dog, and you.
Scoot that over.
Well,
So
then
you're not
I
getting
am
all
gonna
back. You're
scoot
missing
it
half
over.
of the pack.
Okay, and the human and the goblin.
Scoot it back a little bit.
Scoot it back a little
Yeah,
bit
right there,
there.
perfect.
Yeah, right there.
So how many of my.
All but one.
All but one.
Okay. Alright, just
That's
remember
it.
which
Go ahead.
one that
Go
is. Okay, so I'm
That's
gonna roll
it.
for all the little raptors, and I'm just
It's
gonna roll
dumb
2
to not
dice.
hit most of the little raptors, but do hit
10.
most of your party. So
That's 25.
recentering's a good idea.
35.
Making sure,
And
because it's like, hold
37.
up, 20 foot's a big area.
Okay.
So it's a nice circle.
What's the DC threshold again?
the DC will be a good old 16.
Alright, I've got one die that made it, one die that didn't, so we'll basically say half of them can save. Half of the
Okay,
ones can
then.
save.
So total damage will be 37 points of force.
Stand by. 37 points each
Points.
on a fail.
Yes,
I haven't
and-
rolled for the big guy yet.
And then that
What kind of damage is it?
force.
Okay, so I do take half.
Alright,
You know what? We gotta get you a ring of psychic resistance so that you can just say screw everything.
And basically that they are pulled into a line toward the center of the spear, and even that if that space is in the air. So those that basically failed, that you just see like little bitty raptors are kind of like zooming up into like this kind of sort of like golden almost black hole,
Okay.
Tal'gor too.
Alright.
So that means if they got pulled up, does that mean they take bludgeoning damage falling back down?
How high up did they go? It'd only be like 20 feet.
I had
That's 2d6 of bludgeoning.
Alright,
Yeah.
so 4 of the little guys are gone. And the others, including the big one, are still there, but they're... And how long does this last?
that
When
this
does it drop
is
them?
that this is a instantaneous, so it drops them.
Okay, so an additional... Do you want to roll that?
How much do I roll?
2d6, 20 feet. You said that's where you placed it.
It was 6 bludgeoning.
Okay. Alright. Go ahead and pull all the other little ones off, but leave the big guy.
Let's fight with it fast.
Oh, our wizard just vacuumed them into the sky.
They just put a bowl of raptor meat.
Okay, is Tal'gor just sitting there covered in raptor goo as he hits the ground?
I love how the two people over there like, if you're gonna help, and he runs on like and you're like, huh, and they all just like, all the little ones are dead now.
The little goblin says, "Holy fuck!"
That's right. Put some respect on our name.
The one raptor
Ring
is
the bell, school is in.
You know what? I'm gonna make the raptor roll a dex to see if it lands on its feet like a cat. Oh my god, that's a nat 20. So it lands on its feet, so it's not prone. So
Okay.
Superhero landing.
And is it 20 feet from anybody?
Tal'gor.
Tal'gor?
No, is it?
Arten.
I need a 20-foot space.
That'd be...
Is that anybody? Because if not, it's fine. I just need to know.
Maybe your boy, Erebos.
Maybe Arten.
Erebos
and Arten.
Erebos,
Okay, so-
Zorina.
Hold on. Erebos, or sorry.
I'm 15.
Yeah, 15.
Okay.
Zonya would be 20. Phil would be 25. There's a dog in there somewhere
It's a
taking up.
long dog.
It's a long dog.
Dog's taking up like
Long
a
dog is
total of
long.
20, or like a total of like 20 square or 10 square feet. That's how big the dog is now. It is
It's a
just.
mastiff, you know.
It's literally, we have the dog from Hotel Transylvania with us now.
Say
And then
hi,
there.
Bob. Hi, Bob. Okay. All right. So just I wanted the 20 feet, but I'm not going to get it, so it's fine. It's basically going to run up and take a bite, and also as it's like biting, it's going to pull up both its hind legs and just slash at Tal'gor.
Okay.
I've got
so
a
it's
kangaroo kicks and bites at you.
It's a multi-attack 3.
Yeah.
So
16 is what you're looking for.
all right, I'm going to get.
But you attacked
All of-
recklessly, right?
Oh yeah, you get advantage too.
I do get advantage.
Sorry, Nate.
That's good.
It's okay. That advantage, that recklessness, like saved him for like half
So,
all that damage.
The bite and one of the claws will get you good.
Okay.
It's like 17
okay.
damage
Stand
that he didn't
by.
take. He earned it.
Looking for the correct dice. 12. Between piercing and slashing. It's not magical, so you can take your resist off of it.
Okay.
And that's gonna do it. You've eliminated all of the pack tactics options, so
Okay.
So that's how we're gonna make this whole thing work. We never got to deal with pack tactics, but we take out the whole pack first.
the gobbo fires off a crossbow. That's gonna hit, and the human misses. So
Loser.
somebody reminds me
Damn
what.
it, Delroy.
Somebody remind me what just a basic crossbow does. Is it a D8?
It's a D8 because
Yeah.
the hand crossbow is a D6.
Yeah.
It's another 4. Okay. Math is weird. Okay. They pop off a couple of pot shots and it goes down. You have eliminated all the dinosaurs.
Oh man, you didn't do nothing.
Phil's gonna walk over to the big raptor, because I'm assuming all the other raptors are like.
They're kind of moosh.
Phil's
Just big bowl of raptor
Yeah,
meat.
I'm just
Phil's assuming there's no
They're-
teeth in the
They're
mush.
moosh.
I'm walking around to all non-moosh and stabbing, not getting back
I'm
up.
gonna go to the bowl of raptor meat.
I
and put
did
it in my bag of holding.
That's gross.
It's not how that works.
Whatever.
It's like
I understand what happened. I'm just trying to be funny.
It's full of
I am
sand
too
and shit.
literal. Okay. The human has is clambering down behind the barricade. The goblin starts scramble sliding down. As the goblin comes closer to you guys, kind of kicking it, little bits and pieces here and there. You can see that it is wearing a kind of a cobbled together mishmash of leather and bits of metal. But this gobbo doesn't look quite like the green skin gobbos you're used to. The skin is more gray, and there's like a whole like fringe of monkey-like fur. It kind of looks like an animate monkey almost. Kind of a weird hominid thing.
I'll pull it up.
Homunculus.
Phil is just gonna put a hand on a lantern. Alright, is there anything you want off of this one, or is just the big one?
DM is not understanding if you're asking about the gobbo or...
No, looking at the raptor. Because Phil walked over to
Oh.
the big raptor. You wanted pieces of this too, or no?
Its teeth are shiny. The feathers are nice too.
Alright. Phil's gonna sit down and start plucking a fucking giant ass turkey.
Okay. Yeah, they look like these.
Oh, okay.
They're kind of hairier.
I like these goblins.
But anyway, so the gobbo comes closer and says,
You sure know how to make an entrance, friends.
I guess that we
professor's
were
good
right
at
on
that.
time. We were just right on time.
It was a good
That
joke.
was a good joke.
It was a good
That
joke.
was a good joke. I slap her on the back with like a
Ow.
take one bludgeoning damage.
Do I need to cure wounds you?
Not really.
the goblin hollers back over their shoulder, "Hey,
Boss!
and you hear another human voice. Sounds more like a female than the man you saw before. Says, "What, Grog?" And the gobbo says,
Can I bring our new friends into the, hideout?
and the human says, "I suppose we owe them." And so the gobbo says,
Come on, just don't slip on that thing, because then you'll stab yourself.
and starts clambering, very monkey-like up the
Pierre was hoping his name
barricade.
was Gobby Flay.
I push Phil back down the barricade.
Phil hasn't left Phil's still like pulling feathers off of this raptor and stuffing them into a bag.
I am going to take I'm just going to find a pretty feather.
Nice.
Arten.
These are cool.
Yeah, hey, Arten, do me a favor real quick.
Yeah.
Phil just latches onto one of the teeth with a set of his pliers. I'm gonna pull, but I also need you to pull me as I pull.
I'm gonna use my.
No, I do what he's saying. You don't understand what he's saying.
I don't.
I do what he's saying.
I just gotta get a few of these teeth.
Okay. Just hug him.
I'm not gonna make y'all roll for this unless you just want to roll
Yank.
for this.
Ka-yank.
You yank a fang.
Right.
How many do you need?
Save room for the big ones. Save room for the bigger ones.
2.
Okay.
So you get another one, and then y'all can clamber up the barricade
Phil,
after.
by the time we get to the top of the barricade, Phil's gonna have just a few of those feathers mixed into the dreads.
No, 100% was taking a feather or two just for things like that. I was like, this is cute. And I just put it in my bag.
Alright.
I just have a feather.
Got some slaughter ones you should put them at the end
You
of your
two
bus.
top the barricade first.
Yeah.
Behind the barricade,
You're right. No, they think you're right.
you see quite the messy array. Looks like these people have been holed up here for a while. The only ones living are the human you saw before, the one female human who definitely seems to be the leader that the goblin Grog was talking to. You see an orc and one more human male. And let me count here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay, so there are 5 living individuals in this group.
Okay.
The gobbo, the orc, and 3 humans, one of whom is the female captain.
And 2 unliving.
There are 7.
Dead Tom is dead.
There are 7 dead bodies behind the barricade.
That was a joke. Did not mean to like that.
Most of them are human. One has blue skin and feathers coming off the fringe of her face. And the feathered blue human is still, there's a very obvious fresh wound across her throat, still leaking blood.
But very dead.
Very dead. She is no longer breathing.
There's no healing that's going to help this.
She is dead.
Dead.
There's no spare the dying that can
But
be done here.
she essentially died when y'all were at the ship. That was what y'all heard get them away from Serena.
Oh, that. How long has it been since she's died? Let's see. Looking up at something.
Are you going to risk another fracture of your soul?
No. That not that. I have learned something new.
The captain moves to stand in front of the blue female's body and says, "We're not messing with that. So just put whatever it is out of your mind.
Okay.
We ain't about vampires around here. Just put it away."
Then.
Well, we're not.
No.
We're not.
Wait.
We're not vampires.
Who the hell are you people anyway?
Travelers.
Never seen anyone like yous.
And you won't ever again. We're travelers. We're just new here.
Passing through as you would.
That one, the blue one, I'd almost take him for more folk, except he's got horns.
Yeah. What's a merfolk?
The merfolk. Live in the rivers.
Fish people.
Oh, yeah.
Fish people.
Can you not understand her? It's
Never
clear
seen
as
a giant
fucking
cat.
day.
Met a merfolk before.
What?
You? What are you? Some weird kind of dinosaur?
I wouldn't call them merfolk.
That he has a hard time understanding
Oh, that's a big
common
kind of
right
dinosaur.
Merfolk.
He is a lizard folk.
And you?
I am a fire
You
genasi.
got a really bad tan going. You've been out in the sun
What?
too long.
That's the color of my
You
skin.
have gods.
Your eyes are really fucking weird, man.
I know.
Who the fuck are you people?
If
I can even call you people.
I guess names. Not to be rude.
We never really did give our group a name.
No.
That
We should give our group a name.
I'm not asking for your group name. I'm asking for your names.
Oh, I'm Arten.
Zhonya Embersong.
Fil'verl.
This is
That one.
That this is Tal'gor.
Does the dino have a name?
Hey,
That
they just said it.
yes.
Tal'gor.
Tal'gor.
Fucking name is Tal'gor.
What?
was a
Okay,
lizard.
honestly, it's Tal'gor the Terrifying Terrific.
So Tal'gor a pteranodon and he ain't got wings.
I mean,
No.
here's the problem.
He's a water.
He has some communication issues at the moment.
Don't talk much.
Dinosaurs don't talk, yeah.
Oh no, he can.
Why are you giving a dinosaur an
Damn.
axe?
Because he can fucking use it.
Aye, yeah.
You see him
he's
smash that one
fucking-
back there
he's
with one
fucking
swing.
good at it too.
No, it's back here trying to keep my men from dying.
Well,
Why'd you
What
piss
did
off
that
all the
you know
all the dinosaurs?
You know what? I didn't. They smelled blood and they came running.
I mean that.
But that's a valid answer.
The one
Wait.
named Serena. How long?
Smelling
has it
blood
been?
makes them come running. Does that mean more are coming?
Probably.
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
Alright, well, why are we
Wait,
sitting around here
wait.
talking?
My men are injured.
That.
We'll get them back inside.
What inside?
What the fuck are you even
How
in?
many men are injured?
Just the boxed in back of this alley.
No,
So there are 7 dead individuals.
Mm-hmm.
There are the human female you're talking to, 2 human males, the orc and the gobbo.
Are they all injured? Like too injured to walk?
The one other human man that wasn't up on the barricade, yes, he's injured, and the orc is actually an NPT.
Can I make a?
to the one that's injured.
Can I make a? Oh,
Cure
you got
wounds.
it.
Or cure wounds.
Okay, you got it.
If they'll let me. Phil, I can fucking help with the one that's hurt.
These two have magical powers.
Aye.
They can heal almost as good as they can hurt things.
As long as you ain't doing no fucking blood magic, I'm fine with it.
No blood magic.
Fucking blood magic.
Shit,
That's the thing.
don't get offended. Just do your thing.
No, I didn't know blood magic was
Don't
a
get
thing.
curious.
Of
Don't-
course it's a thing, but
Well,
Don't
no, now I
be-
am curious, but not now.
you just keep talking to your god and we'll move along.
You people from Luco, what's going on? Where are people
No,
from?
I'm from the Astral Sea.
What the fuck is that?
You see it if you go way, way, way up there?
You're telling me you're a fucking spaceman?
Aye.
What the fuck? Did we...
You talk too much.
Did
You
we
give too much information too quickly.
When someone says that, you're supposed to say,
Did the
"I'm from your
goggles?
office."
What the hell?
Tal'gor just says that. It has no. I was like,
Well, I relate that, and then it's
No, he can speak in common.
Oh.
He
I
just
cannot-
can't
I
understand
can
it.
I
can't
clear your
understand what
madness
I
hurt?
said.
All right. Now, while that's
10.
going on,
Like, I'm gonna stand watch if like blood attracts them. If that's alright.
okay. Well, what I'm wanting is anyone who's behind the barricade. If you would like, you can take a quick investigation or perception look around, just kind of like
Yep.
pick up any other details of what's all
18
back here.
investigation.
It's a 19 perception.
Okay.
14
Okay.
perception.
Phil's healing a dude.
All right. So, Tal'gor, you've been kind of like making your way back up the barricade. You do notice that there's a few like chests that are kind of like you see bits of what look to be kind of fancy cloth that you saw a couple of them kind of scattered around the space. Kind of seemed like they were hastily closed. Not exactly closed all the way, not locked. Kind of bits of cloth sticking out of them. The both of you, as Phil's over there tending to the guy, and the captain does turn around to kind of oversee that. So you're able to look around a little more freely. You see a lot of piles of things, bags of things, various chests, and poking out from quite a few different places are items of obvious value. You can see glints of gold and silver, even what look like jade statuaries. Remember the doublet that you picked up? You did. You kind of got the feeling like the buttons were missing because there were missing threads. The goblin Grog has crouched down and is fiddling with a pile of gold buttons, just kind of tossing them like dice.
Please don't let Grog be a dick, because now we gotta kind of save him, because this is adorable.
So you heal the guy, and the captain says, "All right." Well, I mean,
We showed our prowess in the fight, took out everything that was going to harm you, and we've already healed some of your people. Have we earned a little bit of your trust?
yeah, I'm not already killing you.
Good. What's your name?
Damask.
Damask. It's nice to meet you.
Damn it. Got it.
No.
No.
Damask.
No, that's Hewitt saying damn it. Got it.
Good. Again, we're new to the area. We just got here. We have a few things we're looking for, and we'll be on our way.
Did Clark send you?
Don't
I told
know.
him I could do this myself.
I don't know who the fuck that is, so no.
No.
Let's see if she believes you. She believes you. Okay.
Good.
Now.
Let's see.
We followed a blood trail here from a shipwreck.
Yeah.
Yours?
Yeah. Bloody Spinosaurus took out the keel.
Spinosaurus?
Yeah.
I'm assuming a
The big old
water,
lizard that swims, it's got a big old sailfin on its back. Rips
Big-
out the bottom of boats.
big water lizard, big fin. Got it.
Got it.
A lot of teeth.
Probably.
Probably.
I'm assuming they all have a lot of teeth.
So now I've got to hike and hot-foot it all the way back to the coast. It's ridiculous.
How far is the coast?
Well, it depends on which way you go.
Which way are you going?
We came in through the west from the inland sea. Where did you come from?
From the north.
So what? What do you mean you don't know what the motherfucker got if you're coming from the territory?
We're not from here. We got dropped off in a random location, and we've been walking through the jungle.
Why don't you just take a fucking boat?
There wasn't one where we got dropped in.
Phil.
We didn't have that option.
I don't know exactly what help you could be to me and my crew.
Other than the help that we already were.
Other than pack mule and defense, yeah.
We'll take defense.
Alright. But if you're not exactly from here, If you die, it ain't on my head.
It never would have been. But if you pointed what to kill, we'll kill it.
Any dinosaurs or any of those damn dinosaur riders?
Wait, there are dinosaur riders?
My interest is here now.
Click the unison. That was beautiful.
People ride those things?
Yeah, the damn Sun Empire. Think they know everything. Think they got everything under control. It's ridiculous.
Why is it always people who have a sun empire, a fire thing? Just
You know, I like you a lot more now. You don't like those pompous assholes.
from where we come, there's pompous assholes who do the same type of thing. Sun everywhere, sun this, sun that.
But they're a little bit lamer than theirs. Theirs have dinosaurs.
Yeah, ours just have armor and a shadow army. But whatever.
Alright, look. My men, we're not up for it tonight. We can hike out in the morning.
There. Does this barricade, is it fully enclosed? We're good on all sides?
I mean, we got the wall off the back, but we're not. It's easier to just not take it down. Can't hold my men out over the top. Don't wanna fight with all that. It's all gonna come tumbling down if we try that shit.
Yeah.
So we'll wait here overnight. This is a defensible position, and we'll just do the best we can in the morning. That's all I got. I ain't got no rations. You're on your own for food.
A dinosaur's good to eat.
Not them. They're greasy as hell.
Also, most of them are probably full of sand and grime.
Just asking.
Just
I mean, if it was good meat to eat, then we just killed a bunch of it. I didn't know.
yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying most of it's kind of.
We can clean it.
You're so picky. We do have some rations. It's fun.
Yes, we do.
Let's know a guy who made sausage out of reptiles.
Monster.
But
You always all this chatty.
so that before that
Yeah.
you had
You're
basically
just a peach.
Before that you had
The fuck's a
basically
peach?
You.
Fuck's a peach.
I'm a human. Don't know what the fuck you are, but I'm a human.
So, do you want to go ahead and rest here?
Well, we don't really have much of a choice. If we wander off, we'll let them die. And even a Brillo pad sometimes deserves something nice.
going to send a message to Arten. Gonna be like a lot of rich valuables they have.
No, I'm an idiot. There were merfolk in Kairos. My bad. I'm over here like, I just assumed that, I forgot that there were. I didn't know.
You have
A lot-
there's a Poseidoness god in this world.
A
You
lot
stay
of
away
rich
from the water. That makes
items
sense.
that they have. Seems like not very smart, but they know the way of the land. We still follow your lead. If that they turn, they burn.
Yes, of course.
See, the thing I love about this, you're casting sending her message.
Message.
So there's just all this whispering over from the side. Oh my god, that's awesome.
Damask will kind of take her two humans and her orc crew members kind of toward the back wall a little bit, putting some distance between you guys and them. Grog the goblin, though, he kind of has been shaking his buttons this whole time.
I'm gonna look at Grog.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hold up my bone dice. And I'm like, I'm gonna hold up a gold coin. I'm asking.
He wants the gamble.
Oh, that he wants to gamble.
I don't have dice. I'm not playing with your dice. They're loaded.
I mean,
That didn't help my case.
I mean, you are holding buttons. We did find this doublet.
Snatched.
Okay.
I left it on the boat. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I could have told you that was going to happen.
I already knew.
Starts squirming into it, like putting it on over his.
How badly does it fit him?
It swallows him whole. It's made for a
Hey.
human.
Hey, guard, come here.
What?
We're gonna fix this for you. Come here. I can't let you. You're gonna trip on that shit.
You're a tailor?
Takes up the excess and like waddles over to you.
I want to finish. I want to let him do his thing until.
Phil's gotta look at you. Y'all figure out what we're doing. This is adorable. I'm sorry. And
Okay.
I'll make up whatever role you want me to, and then I'm gonna be quiet.
And we can
Sleight
move
of
on.
hand. For trying to
Hold on.
sew something up. I don't.
I'm going to tell Erebos
Okay.
to speak to those two in Infernal, because I know both of them can understand it, and that way we can at least have this message going through all of us while he's having fun with his new goblin friend.
Grog does not stop squirming. Keeps trying to like see what you're doing. You end up stabbing him, and then he squeals and jumps away.
I haven't rolled above a fucking 10, y'all. I'm sorry. Like this is why I'm not doing anything important right now. I know what my luck is.
It's a success for
Grog just goes over to one of the chests, flings open the lid, revealing just dozens of velvet pieces of clothing and ribbons. Pulls out a ribbon and ends up like doing the tie it in the front thing. Yeah.
So, I'm telling her, whispering into Erebos' ear. Erebos going to tell y'all in the evil language. I can't think of words now. I don't word good.
Oh wait a minute.
Best words.
That she is going to basically just like take off her that she's going to take off her beret, but then that she is going to give you the amulet of detect thought, so you can understand the conversation.
It's not needed at this moment.
You don't need that.
No.
Okay.
Because I just need someone to tell y'all the same kind of thing that you were saying to us. These people know the lay of the land. We're going to hang out with them. Don't trust them. They are. I'll get the seeking suspicion that they're not savory people.
I'm gonna hold my hands over my head to say they're shady.
Yeah. Very much so. Keep on your guard. We mind our own, but there is strength in numbers, and these people know what we're up against.
Looking out over the barricade, whoever's up there on guard, it's you're basically looking due west, and you can see the sun going down in the distance. It seems like maybe there's only about an hour left of daylight.
So I'll get real low.
I love that reference. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pause there, take a bit of a break, come back, and see what happens. Da 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 da. Clean and organized.
We don't heavy waist you.
On the pen.
Oh, sorry. That's my bad.
Okay. This is better. I'll work something out a little bit more because we don't have to go all the way up like we were doing. Really?
He's been whining for like a minute since the door got closed. He was like,
We're
Because
back.
Mom's not in here.
anymore. Okay, so we're basically just gonna pick up right where we left here with
It's getting dark.
It's getting dark. The sun's going down. Alright, so basically the crew behind you are Captain Damask comes back over, says, alright, we usually take a three switch watch. Makes things generally easier. That generally how you people operate.
Aye, but you should sleep. You all look like shite.
Well, to be entirely frank, not going to leave you lot to watch over our asses by yourselves.
Considering we saved them.
It's fair.
It's fair.
They barely know us.
But we are going to, attempt to trust. About as far as we can throw you, which to some of us ain't that far. My lieutenant, my bosun over here, Zron, he's gonna take the first watch with whichever of you.
Tal'gor's already up there.
Which one is wrong?
That's the orc. The orc is already walking toward the barricade.
You're already up there, like
You already taken watch, you said.
I did. I'm just fucking.
I was like, you're already there. I'm gonna volunteer you. No one's gonna tag you out to go to sleep right now.
And she says, whenever your dinosaur up there switches out, Zeron will tap me, and then Grog will finish out the morning.
Okay.
I'll take second watch.
I'm gonna tell Erebos again, very quietly, in his ear. No one can hear. Hopefully.
Yeah, Damask heads back
Yeah.
to.
But he, especially around this crew, should probably act like he sleeps for most of the night.
Well, you know, I heard them talking about that.
Yeah.
They don't like vampires.
Yeah. Yeah. But it also, yeah. Let's just not get found out like that. Okay, go.
Nobody out. Erebos.
Okay, so the orc Zeron climbs up the barricade, gives Tal'gor a bit of a quiet nod, says, You got anything out there? You got anything out there?
He doesn't talk.
I mean, that's what they said about me till I was 5.
Or here.
That's enough.
There's a thing.
Doesn't talk is fine.
Alright then, kind of puts his back against the building on the side. And,
And he's the amputee, right? He's the amputee?
Yes.
Okay.
So, you know, if something happens, you can just hurl him at the thing.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
That's fucked up.
That's the only way he's going to get to the battle. You totally meant that he's going to hop in there.
He's whittled a peg leg.
Oh, he has a peg leg.
He has a peg
okay.
leg now.
I thought it was
he
Hobbit.
even has a leg that's amputated, so, okay. It's 19.
Okay. As the sun goes down and it gets dark, do remind me, do you have dark
Nope.
vision? Okay. I believe orcs do. I totally forgot to look at things, but
They
yeah.
do.
So Zeron doesn't know that you can't see. But
Can't see.
Put a deaf mute over there by the thing.
This is like Tal'gor. I'm sorry, has like a weird form of sensory deprivation going on right now.
Who's on first watch? The blind deaf mute, but he can hit real hard.
the blind deaf mute and the amputee walk off to the top of the barricade.
We'll be
We have
fine.
Trigger warning of this portion of the
We're
episode.
good. This is a perfectly good team for first watch. There's not fresh blood in the air and dinosaurs after us. It's fine. Screw.
As the sun goes down and night draws in fully, there's no moon tonight. It doesn't appear, and everything is very, very dark. The crew in the back of the alley only put together a very small fire, and it doesn't really give a lot of light, but the Zeron doesn't seem to be too chatty, and after a few hours, just kind of picks up like a stick out of the barricade and just reaches over to poke you, like, we're good.
I'm going to assume I can figure out what that means.
And starts making his way down the barricade. So who are you tapping for next watch? Because I don't believe they told you.
No.
Phil, no, we didn't. We didn't
I
tell
was
you.
going to, but
It's
we
Phil.
went past it.
He rolled the dice. He said Phil.
Okay. So you tap Phil. Erebos is leaned up against Arten, pretending to sleep as best he can. And Captain Damask gets woken up by Zeron and makes her way up to the top of the barricade. Along the way, she stops off at one of the bags, rummages around, and actually pulls out a what looks like a set of lenses on a leather strap, and puts them on. They kind of give off a really weird ambient glow, kind of a weird blue color.
Are they they yellow with red and green stripes
No.
about this big and can
No.
there's an adjustable band on the back?
I said lenses in a leather strap. Did I
know,
not?
I know, but you just
You know what? I am the biggest JP fan, and I get what you're going for. And yes, it's Dominion opening night, but I'm trying not to be copyright infringing. Okay.
They spared no expense.
It's legit merch, though. Like, we can't steal that idea. Like, that
Did they
concept
actually
is...
make that into a toy?
Yes!
Yes.
Oh.
It's legit merch, man. In any case.
Spared no expense.
They spared no expense.
In any case. So she climbs up on top of the barricade and takes up the same spot that Zeron did, and just kind of staring out into the street. Every so often, she also scans overhead.
Phil's just gonna look out, not making eye contact at her. So, tomb robbers or archaeologists?
Treasure hunters.
So, more of A than B.
There's a lot of sunken ships down in the bay.
Freshly sunken.
Just in his sleep.
There's even a whole city that they floated down in there.
Floating city under the water.
Not floating, flooded.
Flooded. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of jade antiques down there that the damn River Heralds decided to leave behind. So
River Heralds.
the merfolk,
Ah.
they like to sound all pompous and shite.
Yeah. I mean, if you floated a whole city under the water, you could be pompous about it, right?
I mean, depends on what you think about, things that are done a few hundred years ago. They have no claim to it now. So,
Well, how long do they live?
I'm not entirely sure. I try not to deal with them.
Hey.
Closest we ever get is people like Serena. And, she's dead now, so I guess I'll never know.
Hey. Anyway, problem with possession is depending on how long some individuals live. Like, take myself. Provided that I don't meet some unfortunate end, I'm looking at about 10 centuries, and I've already gone through 2.
Yeah, I'm not going to believe you on that. That's a little weird.
Elf. So, in any case, if I forgot something for about 100 years and went back to get it, other people would be like, oh, it's been here since my great-grandma. I'd be like, oh, that's where I fucking put it. You might have to... I don't know. It could cause problems in the future because some things don't see time in the same way you do.
The only folks that live that long are the vampires, and they ran us all at the Tal'gor. And so,
Vampires.
yeah,
So you're telling me
they're all about the conquest, mate.
that there's vampires
Yeah,
and dinosaurs
yeah.
and grogs.
Oh, he's just a little bit of a monkey man.
Oh no, that's fucking adorable. I love him.
He's really great on the ropes. Not so great on the ground. Great in the trees, though.
Works rigging.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know about ships then?
I'm on down when I worked for it for a while. Mostly do jewelry now.
Yeah.
What's that over there?
So, it's alright.
Right, good.
You can't see in the dark, can you?
I can. I'm just making sure whatever the fuck's on your head works.
Right. You're really weird.
Yeah, I'm not the first one to tell me that. The cat tells me that all the time. But he's a 7-foot tall cat man, so what the fuck does he know?
What's with the blue one with the horns? It's really, really weird.
Oh, him?
Yeah, it's some kind of creature of the night, like a demon or something.
No. No.
Good.
He's decent. In fact, sweet as sugar to everyone. Kind-hearted.
We'll see.
Also, pretty good with a bow, so even if I'm lying to you, fucker's useful. We all are. So, I understand what you got going on. Half your crew dead. Bunch of fucking dinosaurs. A bunch of heavy shit to haul. maybe be slightly less suspicious of us is all I'm asking. You know.
Yeah, I can't exactly afford that. At least not on such short acquaintance.
Oh.
Stranger in a strange land and all that.
Looks like you could afford a lot.
Oh.
Lot of
Let's be
shiny
honest.
stuff around here.
Alright. What, there's 4 of you left?
No. 5 if you count Grog.
4.5.
I'm going to say 6. Grog's my favorite. He counts for 2. But you're all in rough shape.
We'll be better for the rest.
Alright, but you're sitting on a fat load of gold. If we were anywhere unforetold, it would have already happened. And it hasn't. So, I get it. We're weird. We're new. Everywhere we go, we're weird and we're new. But, maybe just a moniker more trust because nothing has happened.
Let's see how the night goes.
It's gonna go like this. And knowing the players' roles for me, I ain't gonna see shit here in just a minute.
Fucking
Meta!
You using that meta magic for all the wrong reasons.
That was the best meta. He just straight Deadpool that situation. Like no one caught it, and then we all caught
I called it. I'm like, wait.
How many inspos do you have banked?
I have 3.
I'll give you a fresh one for that. That shit was great.
So, no, Phil's just gonna continue to make small talk with her, more or less be like, hey, maybe don't throw as much shade at us. Not trying to, like, actually be persuasive at all, just like...
Yeah, just talking. Yeah. No, I get you.
Alright, let's see, perception check for my whole thing. Yeah, I called it. That is a 9.
She got a 16.
Good, the goggles work.
So even whilst y'all are essentially keeping up a quiet chatter, every so often she does and listens for a minute, but seems to rule out whatever it is she thought she heard and goes back
Bless
to
you.
talking with you. Midnight passes and watch switch. So who are you tapping in?
Well, we got one that watches the dawn.
That is me. I'm that guy.
Alright.
Just because Phil still has trust issues about waking very large things up and them thrashing. Phil is just going to make this
Wake up, Erebos.
just going to do a slight smell of coffee using prestidigitation to Arten and also thump Erebos. Get up, your boy.
Why I'm supposed to thump Erebos.
I just thump Erebos on the shoulder. Wake up, your boy, so he doesn't fucking punch me again when I wake him up.
Erebos kind of does like the really dramatic, like.
Overplay the whole situation.
And before Phil
Oh
goes to,
man,
before
that was
Phil-
a great rest.
before Phil
I
goes to
had a
finish
sleep
trancing,
right there.
Gonna whisper very quietly. The boss lady really doesn't trust you. So watch it around her just a bit.
And kind of gives like a really subtle nod and just gently pokes Arten awake.
Wake up.
Grog is already. It almost seems like Grog was like half awake already, and as soon as Captain Damas was heading down, Grog was already like gathering up a whole bunch of like just random shit, like his buttons and like a little jar and just a whole bunch of shit and clambering up the barricade.
Okay.
There's a Rubik's Cube. There's like a Game Boy without batteries, buttons.
Let's see.
All these things that we don't really know what they are yet.
There's 46 cards of a full deck.
Don't
Thankfully,
talk about Grog that way.
2 of which are Go Fish cards.
dark vision for the win for Grog. So yay.
Cool. Everyone has dark vision. We all walk over there,
Yep.
and we're hanging out.
Erebos does follow up to the top as well, just in case.
We'll call this his watch.
Up at the top of the barricade, Grog is has his little pile of buttons in his little jar and starts counting the buttons into the jar.
What you got there?
Buttons.
You like buttons?
Love buttons. Especially when they're shiny.
Shiny buttons.
What was that?
Fair
Okay,
play.
never mind.
Just the sound of a low-flying pterodine.
You know, it's really lucky that you all showed up. Those raptors have been on our ass for days.
Days.
Yeah. We wrecked a few days ago.
You've been stuck here for days.
We're hungry. I'm not eating my buttons yet, but we're hungry.
But not hungry enough to eat the raptors.
They're greasy.
You get hungry enough, Greasy doesn't really.
Not that hungry.
Okay.
You're not greasy enough to eat, or not hungry enough to eat possum yet.
We ran out of food yesterday. Thankfully, Serena didn't eat much. She gave up her share. Then the raptor got her.
Yeah, I saw.
Knocked her down and she... So really actually crazy. She flies, you know. Flew.
She
Loaded.
flew.
Loaded.
She's a she's a water.
No, yeah, but no, not a river herald. She's a siren. That's why her name's Serena.
Oh. Okay. I just had that all mixed up. Here, I'll reach into my bag and pull out a hunk of like unleavened bread from one of my rations and just break off some of it for him.
Oh, crackers.
The crunching from the crackers is louder than his whispers ever were.
Oh god, he's gonna need water so bad. Just a mouthful of cracker. No matter what happens, we have to save Grog now.
This is how I die, the goblin NPC. I swore I'd never do it, but here we are.
Bobbin the Goblin. You went and made Bobbin the Goblin.
I did.
Hey, at least it's not Gobbert Downey Jr. Gob Ross.
These are the sirens. They're kind of fancified.
They are.
Okay.
I was imagining merfolk with feathers, and I was like,
Not. I said blue human with feathers.
yeah.
But yeah,
You assumed.
I assumed.
it's okay. You are allowed to assume every so often. Okay. So watches for you.
Yeah.
Garbos, and Grog. It's funny, Grog. I thought since it seems like he's gonna be hanging out. Wasn't it?
We roll the perception.
Mm-hmm.
18.
Cool. Let me check a thing here. Yeah, okay. So, first couple hours of the watch passes. Shortly before dawn, maybe an hour or so, you can kind of see like the sky starting to turn gray off over the back wall of this alleyway. Grog has been basically counting buttons into the jar, pumping the jar out, counting buttons into the jar, essentially just as a way to pass the time.
So every so often.
Yep. But it's starting to get daylight, and off in the distance, probably a good couple hundred yards away, but kind of echoing through the large buildings lining the street in front of you, there's a bit of a sound of something scraping, like a hard surface scraping against stone, and all of the ambient noises in the space fade out and disappear. And Grog.
Yeah.
A big one.
Grog, go wake the others.
Scampers down, leaves the buttons on top of the barricade and scampers down, quite agilely and not making too many rattling sounds against the barricade. So it's going to take a few seconds for Grog to get down. So and get the closest people awake. So Arten and Erebos on top of the barricade. Erebos pulls his bow and knocks an arrow.
Pull up the crossbow because they're far away.
And with the
Just need to go
So,
like this.
yeah. Like the barricade? Yeah, okay. That'll work. I can work with that.
So the squeaky is what made
I know.
Okay, and just kind of have, yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Let me grab my... on the right one here.
I still haven't found Phil's lantern. So whatever you did last week, sent that thing flying off to like
The
somewhere.
abyss.
Yeah.
Just had it in my hand, and then he said, "Yeet." And when he hit the ground, he went.
It's in here somewhere. Dewey probably ate it.
It's in here
No.
somewhere.
It's
Which one are you looking
Dewey
for?
has been very good about not eating plastic.
think-
I'm just
Okay.
surprised I haven't found it with a bare foot.
Okay.
It's probably under the TV.
Under her desk.
Everything went quiet after that scraping sound. And then you hear there's a low, definitely sounds like a very deep guttural breathing, kind of echoey and resonant, and very clacky footsteps, like something large with multiple claws, slowly coming closer.
Cool.
The water.
Do you have a cup of water? Does it look like? Is it making ripples in the water?
Just like a bass
The
string being
buttons,
plucked
the buttons
underneath
are
it.
bouncing in Grog's jar. After the first like 15 seconds or so of hearing this, everybody's awake, and Zron and Damask and the other two human men are getting together their crossbows. Damask also has a she rummages around and manages to pull out something that looks like a metal sensor ball. Has a bit of a wick off the top.
She has a holy hand grenade.
And
2, 5.
Pretty set.
okay. So we'll say we'll just do this. Have that be Damask comes up to the top.
Mm-hmm.
And does anybody else want to get up there as well?
Phil will walk up there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I will walk up there too.
Okay.
We're all crowding this little.
Okay.
Puppy, get back here. We're not.
But I gotta poo.
We can't re-summon you again right now. Just
Okay.
get back here.
My two humans and Zoran.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could be really silly.
Do it.
Grog.
Yeah. Oh, groggy.
He's just riding on top of somebody. Is that what you're about to do?
Yes.
He's riding on Zoran. They have a unique friendship. Okay.
Does
so,
he have the feet mounted combatant?
Yes. Yes, he does.
I don't want to look up. Oh, he's got a teeny hand crossbow. Is what he's got.
Yeah.
Just that.
Pea shooter deals
He's got the Derringer.
deals a D2 damage.
Okay. From the building to y'all's right, from around the building to the right, at the end of the alley, we'll say maybe 30 or 40 feet up, comes a very large. Let me actually get my stats here. It's been a while since I used this book.
Been a while.
I love flying monsters.
There we go. Let's see. So it technically counts as huge. So it should be 15 feet by 15 feet, something like that.
Yeah, he kind of takes up that.
Okay, cool. So comes a creature that is very, almost looks like a coral reef lines its back. Has a open mouth full of teeth. Look like this.
Should be coming from the water. I guess it doesn't.
No,
matter.
it is walking on the street. Hanging from its spines on both sides are essentially it's like window cleaners, like scaffolds, and on both sides are. Let me actually check my digits here. Okay. On either side of the spine are two what appear to be human individuals. 3 are wearing very ornate armor. Looks like a combination of leather with some splinting, and decorated heavily with dinosaur feathers. The 4th individual is wearing what looks to be a cloak made of leaves and a bone headdress. As the Spinosaurus comes into the space in front of the alleyway, it turns. Put it back a little bit, give a little bit of distance. Yeah. It turns, and the 4 individuals start working pulley systems to actually lower themselves to the ground. One of the, yeah, we'll do that. One of the ones in armor unsheaths a polearm and calls out, "Give up the pirates! You foreign folk there, give them up!"
Very bold of him to us. No, it's not. We stand fucking out.
Yeah.
This is a primarily human-led world.
Yes.
And Damask says, "You don't gotta listen to them. They're crazy sunfolk.
What'd you do?
Didn't do nothing. We
Tell
were
the
salvaging.
truth.
We were salvaging. The fuck
Tell
this?"
the truth.
And she pops off a shot at one of the.
We can just
So,
do this if y'all want. I mean,
Okay, so did
that is an option.
so did she just fire off at them?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta look at Arten.
It is your call.
Essentially, you've got 6 seconds to make a decision.
It's not my fight. It's not my fight.
They have a whole fucking dinosaur.
It's not my fight.
All right, backing off.
Backing off.
Backing
So-
off.
So she just shot straight out at them. Phil's brain's going.
So
Phil's brain's going. We're now associated with the lady who just shot at dinosaur cops.
yeah, because Erebos and I were already on guard before everybody came up. I'm
Right.
assuming that the captain, who was originally behind me, said "fuck this" and kind of stepped forward in front of everyone, or would they just fuck this?
She was like right beside y'all.
Okay. So yeah, she goes "fuck this" and aims, and at that motion, I'm taking a big step back. Just that's all.
Erebos is not far behind. So essentially, what's happening is all of y'all are stepping
Phil's
back.
gonna step back, but as he does, and Arten or anyone, feel free to stop. Phil's about to Eldritch Blast her and launch her out towards them. But hey, they said turn in the pirates. She just shot at them. Phil doesn't want us being associated with this. He's about to literally force an arrest.
How do I feel?
I'm not choosing to notice this because I don't.
Okay.
Yes, I know what it looks like when he shoots an Eldritch Blast, but I'm not
Give
trying
me
to
a
pay
con
attention to
save.
this and him in this
Give me a
thing.
con save.
Oh.
Hey, I'm on brand.
As that.
No, you know what? I'm
Okay.
actually going to.
Inspire myself.
We're gonna see. Yeah, it still doesn't do anything.
Okay, so as that you are about to try to shoot, then that you just get that this golden shimmer just over you, as if that you already shot it, and just like, no Fil'verl. let them handle it on their own.
So, okay. So Phil feels like he already shot the Eldritch Blast.
But you didn't shoot it.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
How many chests of gold are there?
We'll get there.
Oh,
Because basically what's happening
Yeah.
is she shot off, y'all are backing away, the Spinosaurus is charging the barricade.
Oh, that was smart to back away.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to actually need is you all to roll dex saves, as this thing is going to siege monster the barricade. So I need y'all to be moving quick to get
fuck
off.
you! Fuck you,
was
dice!
it a 20 on the floor?
It was a 19.
Alright.
Oh, no.
It's not been my night.
I
got an 18.
Now it's a nat fucking 20.
Is it a saving throw?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I
Okay.
get advantage on saving throws due to danger sense.
Okay, and so
And so 12.
Okay.
I had got
It's still better than
Zhonya, she had got a 17, Zorina got a 21.
Okay. And Arten?
18.
Okay. Yeah, you all managed to basically make it most of the way down when you can hear like the claws like scraping the stone as this thing kind of gives off a rather like hoarse like shriek, and it just collides with the barricade. The pirates are essentially entering full combat mode, and you all are basically trying to clear back to the back of the alley to get out of dodge. Roll me a d20, Arten.
2.
There are 6 actual chests.
Mm-hmm.
Again, as many bags and like piles of things. Plenty of loot is what's happening here.
Okay.
Now, so basically what's going to happen is we're just going to let this kind of, it'll resolve in about like 30 seconds. So within that 30 seconds, are you wanting to try anything with the chests or anything?
I was just gonna grab a couple bags of gold and shove them in my bag of holding.
Okay.
Thing. Not big chest. Just want to get like a little loot and throw it in my bag.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and let me actually pull up another. Sorry, I got scrolling that I gotta do.
Sorry, there's a lot of gold here. I don't really know
Okay.
whose it belongs to. I do know whose it's about to
All right.
belong to.
So roll me a d10. Anybody else that wants to get in on this mini looting?
Is it gonna be something that looks like a spell scroll or anything?
Is our spell scroll shiny and made in gold?
That they might have a gold
That they
case.
might have.
They might have a gold case. You might see a gold case of a spell.
So even if the spell scroll wasn't that great, then you'd have a dope
roll
spell
a really
scroll.
quick investigation.
That's
So-
gonna be a 26.
At first glance, no. You don't see anything that looks like a scroll case. You see a couple of what are obviously maps, but you don't see anything that looks
Were you-
specifically scroll
A D10.
like spell oriented.
D10.
Okay.
D10. My bad.
Yeah. Anybody else who's wanting to grab loot real quick can do
Just
that.
hand on the lantern. Do you sense anything that you want?
There's lots of pretty stuff. I can't make a decision. There's too much. Grab something before they come.
All right. Phil's not even gonna look. Phil's just gonna snatch a handful of something.
Okay.
Same.
D10.
Well, then now that I have it.
Okay. So full 10. All right. Okay. A 2. Okay.
We got a 6.
Okay. Alright. Oh, nice. Okay. So, Arten, you managed to get a couple of like little pouches of gold. It'll total somewhere around 75 gold. The coins aren't like anything you've ever seen before. They definitely have like different symbolism on them, but they're obviously gold. You also managed to snag hold of a very large kind of a bangly bracelet that also seems to be made of pure gold. And for that one, write me 250 LD out beside it. You got a 6, was it? Okay.
250 long division.
You're looking around, you see Arten kind of starting to rummage, so you go for the first chest you see. Right on top is a bronze tube with glass lens fitted in both ends. One end is larger than the other. If you would like to roll a history check to see if you can figure out what it is.
That's a 6.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty tube. You can grab it if you want. Looks like it's
I've
segmented.
definitely already put it in my
Okay.
It's
So
already mine. I
go
don't
ahead.
know what it is.
Go ahead and write down bronze spyglass, and out to the side 250 BC.
250 BC.
And you had a 2. Okay. The first thing you grab is a very nice robe off the top of one of these chests. It's the collar is lined with more dinosaur feathers, lots of blues and greens, and some bright reds as well mixed in. And there's also some silver embroidery work along the hem. And out to the side, right, 250 SE.
Wee bit of thieving, but I feel like it wasn't necessary.
Like, we just watch as a Spinosaur probably eats one of them, and it's just...
Yeah, one of the humans gets totally chomped.
Just trying to shove a whole bathrobe into a bag the size of a fucking fanny pack.
Zron, oddly enough, takes hold of the back of Grog's like shirt, and basically yeets him over his shoulders. Grog tumbles through the air and lands on the ground, but basically scurries over to you all. Says,
You can claim me, right? You can claim me.
I'm gonna take Grog and put him like not in the bag of hole, and I'm in a bag, and I'm gonna go because I can't understand what he's saying.
Buttons are scattered.
I'm gonna give him a piece of gold. Maybe that'll quiet him up.
okay.
He's just peering out of the pouch.
But yeah, so basically, between the dinosaur and the knights rushing the barricade, Zron, the 2 humans, and Captain Damask are slaughtered. And I'm gonna see.
Bye, damn it.
They don't seem to have realized that there was a goblin riding on the orc's shoulder.
Yes.
One of them kind of walks over to the the Spinosaurus' front shoulder and puts a hand on it, and the thing kind of stops raging and backs up a few steps, still snarling a little bit, but backs up and kind of backs out of combat mode. 2 of the other 2 knights and the kind of shaman-looking individual walk in through the hole in the barricade, and kind of take a quick look around, and they're like, all right then. So, foreigners, where are you from?
I'm just gonna smile the whole time, like creepily with no lips.
Phil's just gonna point up.
Ignore them, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Some kind of weird tabaxi. What is that?
No, I'm a Leonin. Lion folk. Well, from far away, we just came here to retrieve something, and then we'll be on our way. We came across these people being attacked by what we assumed were rabid animals, and so we helped them.
Our tracking party.
The way you handled this last beast, motioning to the big one, I kind of put 2 and 2 together.
There's more where the little ones came from. They breed like, rats.
Nice. Anyway, after handling that, we watched each other's back over the night because I didn't know what was out there in the forest. But suffice to say, we did not know who we were throwing our lot in with. We were just helping each other out through the night.
They definitely seem to be taking you at your word. The one who was kind of taking the lead on this, does turn to the shaman and says, "Feeling anything?" And the shaman doesn't speak, but shakes his head a little bit, and the bone headdress kind of clacks a little bit, and doesn't really say anything. So the leader of this group steps forward, and as he comes closer, takes off like this helmet. You can see he's kind of young, definitely human, but young, maybe 20, 25. Comes forward and says, "My name is Juan, and I'd be happy to take you to the capital of the Sun Empire. Maybe we could help you with your search."
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
At the very least, you could get some more information about, since you're foreigners, keep you safer on the paths through the jungles.
And which way is the Sun Empire?
We'll be heading east,
Okay.
back to the capital.
I do know that I pointed the general direction of where the compass was pointing.
No, other direction. You don't want to go there. It's the land of missing a name. Stand by. It's the land of the Night Lord, Aklasos. You don't want to go there.
I'm afraid that might be where we have to go.
It's nothing but demons and chupacabras, friend. You don't want to go there.
I have to. But not right now. We'll follow you for now.
It's a few days' journey to the capital, but we won't stop you if you truly wish to go there, but I warn you, it is a death sentence. No one comes back from the Temple of Aklasos.
Is there a way around it?
I mean, you could go through the mountains, but then you're dealing with all the fauna. Or the dinosaurs.
Oh, the dinosaurs. Okay.
Up on the mountains, it'll be the ones that have wings. You might even have to deal with some of the quetzalcoatls. Those are fun. Enormous. My uncle got carried off by one.
Alright.
Quetzalcoatl ate my uncle.
Quetzalcoatl ate my uncle.
Wow. Just wow. Yeah, no, we'll follow you to the Sun Capital. We'll go with you guys for now, and we'll regroup and figure out our way.
Alright.
All we really have is a compass pointing us directions, so I don't know how far. So it may be beyond the land of chupacabras that I need to get to.
Well,
I'm not second guessing you. It's just 2 days. It's Strixhaven. It's almost 2 weeks.
Right.
if you all need a few minutes to make your choices, we'll just be gathering up all of this stolen goods and packing.
Do you really think we should just go marching into a demon-filled land that the locals call a death sentence?
So far, that has been literally everything we've done.
Not necessarily that we have been gathering information.
Strixhaven was...
It's not just Strixhaven. Look, I'm more concerned because if we're here for 4 weeks, 4 months,
Who knows what happens?
Look,
I mean,
I'll talk. How about we talk to the one with the headdress a little bit more, see what we can glean. And if you still think it's too dangerous, yeah, we'll take it. But if it's multiple days over there, that's
Just
time.
wanted to gather information. More than just, that's a death sentence, but more
we
about how
can
to...
ask. I'm just saying, is 4 days worth it? Is what I'm asking you. That's a month back there, as far as we know. But I could be wrong because time's not my. That's the professor's thing.
time is relative.
Yes.
We need to be safe. I do agree with Arten. We need to gather information because we basically helped out those who were just, like dumb vagabonds. So
We help Tomb Raiders.
One of the other knights as he's passing with a bag slung over his shoulders. They're basically re-rigging the scaffolding along the Spinosaurus for hauling all of this stuff. But basically, one of them, as he's passing, he's like, you know, if you come with us and you make good with the Empire, we might be able to lend you a beast that could get you where you're going faster. Just saying. Politics does wonders. And continues on.
I mean, that he makes a good point.
Well, again, 4 days to get there, and even if we have a dinosaur, I mean, if it takes 4 days to get there now, with that, points at the 18-wheeler of a Spinosaurus.
We don't have the resources. It is best to make friends rather than to make more enemies and basically rush into
I'm not saying make
death.
enemies.
What are you saying? If you got to choose what we did, what would you do?
I'd ask this one for more information, especially if there's another village somewhere that's on the way to the west that they might know that's friendly. We can still gather information, but I'm just saying, if we go there saying it's 4 days there, and even if they give us the fastest fast thing, at which I'm still assuming 2-3 days to get to where they're saying we gotta go, because it sounds like it's a far way away.
Yes.
We're talking about possibly 2 months, if not. But at the same time, I could be wrong.
But
I could be
have
wrong.
you
Time could be
checked-
moving at the same pace there.
But it's still a good point.
But have you checked the compass for today? Because that was yesterday.
I have not, but
I want to ask Tal'gor so bad, but Phil knows that Tal'gor doesn't understand.
I'm going to pull up the compass. Is it still pointing in the same direction?
Yes.
Okay.
I could just unattune the belt.
It
Takes an hour to unattune.
Okay.
Now just
Don't worry about it. Yeah, we will work our way around.
we will. You know what? We will all learn Infernal for you.
Okay.
the compass is still pointing in the same direction.
Okay.
For the moment, it seems more stationary, but then again, if it is mobile at the moment, it's mobile in a short range to where the compass isn't going to pick that up. So, it's not like it's traveling on a winged beast or anything. I don't like traveling 4 days in the wrong direction. No matter what the time differentiation, that means we miss 8 days. Let's see if there's a closer town.
If there isn't, we'll go.
Bone Daddy? Is there a place that's closer? I don't know what his name is. Is
His
it?
name was Warren.
No, not one, but there's another guy.
The druid, essentially.
Oh, the druid.
The druid, you weren't given his name, was kind of simply staring at the sky till you draw his attention. Looks back down.
You don't talk, do you?
I speak for the land
The land.
and the beasts.
The Lord.
No, all I can see is the action just looks like. All I can see now is it looks like Danny DeVito instead of some 22-year-old kid.
It does not matter
Does
what his
anybody
name
want
is
an egg?
now. It does not matter what his name is now. He's the Lorax. Damn you. I speak for the trees. Are there other cities, towns, villages in this direction?
And you're pointing toward where the compass is pointing?
Yeah.
Only bones lie between here and Aquasource.
Well, that's not what I wanted to hear. No other villages or tribes or anything, just bones and then demons.
Let me check my map again.
I'm just asking, like, felt like we were pretty far away.
Is there Bucky's?
It's very Bucky's.
Bucky's ring
Yes,
out
she
space
said
pirates.
bones, Bucky's,
Clearly.
Boosies.
Boosies.
The river heralds are nomadic. It's impossible to tell what springs they call home. There are rivers between here and there.
tributaries of the great.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a map?
Not currently.
Okay.
This is just to be able for everyone to.
This
make
is just,
sure.
I understand.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was just making sure.
I don't have the time to build out like all of.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's good for player reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
But no, currently your characters do not have a map yet.
I am trying to observe what direction I'm pointing.
Okay, so y'all are still at Stockholm.
We're right there.
Yeah,
Up here.
And just to make it clear and plain, the druid is referring to Pekatli. Pekatli is another ruined
Yeah.
town. The only other mark on the map is the Primal Wellspring, which is essentially another maybe merfolk held location. And obviously there's quite a few river tributaries between here and there. But no, there's nothing else between.
There's absolutely nothing else.
It's a land of demon and shadow down there, which is why there's nothing there. Okay.
Where's the nearest river crossing?
Do you wish to cross the Great River or one of the feeds?
I don't know the difference. I just don't want to swim.
I'm gonna mind building a raft. I guess I can't understand what's going on. Never mind.
I'm building a raft.
You could just start building a raft out of what's left of the barricade.
Wasn't it stone?
I thought it was.
It's basically there were some like stone blocks, but
I
they're
got
only,
you.
like, But yeah, it's mostly
It's all
timber.
mixed.
It's all splinters now. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna put down.
Splinters, blood, and bone.
Oh, help it stick together. That's
Name of our
nature's
death metal
glue.
album right there. Splinters, blood, and bone.
Okay. The druid says.
The river is ever changing, as is the tide of
Fuck you
life.
say? So there's no bridges.
If there are, they may not be held by the friendly folk. If they are, perhaps they are only fallen trees.
Okay. Thank you. I'm gonna go back to the crew, round them all up, have a huddle. Okay.
Erebos will keep up a running translation.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
If we follow the Sun People back to their capital, we lose 8 days at least, probably more. And we're going in the wrong direction. It's, from what I'm gathering, none of the tribes of people in this land trust or care for the other tribes. The pirates hated the Sun People hate the river folk. The river folk are nomadic and aren't gonna gather around anybody. It's not like anyone's actually joining together in a group of well-minded people. Aside from, tribes don't mean what you look like, but rather what you act like. They're saying that we have to go through a city full of demons, or it's in a city full of demons. And just evil things.
Just tell people to understand it.
But that's really our only option. Eventually we're going to have to go through or into this place. It's either now or later. I'm putting it up for a vote, let me know what you feel.
Me personally, I think that given just that this chance of, at least that they can provide us with some kind of map or something, other than just following the compass blindly.
But I'm gonna also say we can't just go in blind. I'm gonna mind it. We gotta take the risk.
Or like
The Sorts is not a name I've ever heard of in relation to any of the demons or devils I know of. I'm blind.
Okay.
It's already decided, so my vote doesn't matter.
Vote always matters.
Everyone has a voice.
I don't think we
Remember that, kids.
Exactly. Register and actually go out to vote.
Politics.
I'd rather get this done quickly for the sake of who we're doing it for. But you're making a point.
Okay.
Also, for the only reason I'm saying this is time, much like you said, is relative for me. 8 days, a month, it's the same as long as I'm going to live. I just don't want us to go back to a burnt out husk.
Like, it seemed like then it was heading that way, maybe or maybe not. But we had did what we can for Stone Scar. You know, hopefully then that afterwards, that whenever we do get done collecting all of the shards, that we can go in and seek some kind of vengeance or some kind of re-applicants, basically to get, you know, things moving back into the favor of unity, hopefully.
Well, we're not going to be able to save everybody.
Exactly.
So we just we can't go in blind, or if we die, you know, it's over.
Alright, then it's decided.
Alright, reactive instead of proactive. Got it.
Juan.
Well, you can go.
Comes back over from where it was like helping make sure the weight was carried appropriately.
We'll be traveling with you for now.
Wonderful. We are leaving right now. We travel with the sun as much as possible. Now that we've secured the missing stolen goods and dealt with the pirates, we can avoid traveling after dark. We lost a man on the way here.
Lost him, where'd he go? We're gonna have a search party. Find this guy.
Hauled off in the night by a chupacabra and his blood drained, so how fun is that?
I'm going to put Grog on my shoulder like he was there all along when nobody's looking.
Juan does notice that there's a goblin who wasn't there before. You all picked that one up on your way in, did you?
Kind of fell on him.
Drop there. Crikey, mate. It's a fucking drop there.
Yeah, that's Grog. He's with us.
And I feed him a piece of jerky like he's my parrot.
This is demeaning.
Grog takes the jerky. He's playing along, trying to.
Respect
I'm not technically lying at any moment. It is Grog. He is with us. But dance around this subject all day.
And Grog is still wearing the really big shirt that he pulled out of the...
Of course he is.
Yeah, okay.
He came like that. He woke up like this.
I forgot about the shirt.
Juan is a young man. He is he seems to consider it for a minute. You can see like a smile twitching at the corners of his mouth. He looks at the druid, who is back looking at the sky again. Says, "Right. If it's a brazen coalition goblin, you better keep him under control."
I'm going to pretend like I know what that means.
I don't know what that is. So I'm going to say he's not.
They're the pirate, for lack of a better term, kingdom around here. You'll want to make sure that the little guy doesn't keep to that thieving way.
Grog, are you a brazen coalition goblin?
I'm a parrot.
See? He's not one of those.
Just gonna give just the meanest teacher look at him. Eyes just glow up, just flames, all just like if the you touch something, I will burn every little finger of you.
If Grog turns out to be that way, I didn't know. I'm an innocent lion man.
I'm not going to be responsible. If anything happens, he has to die, same as those. And puts his helmet on and walks back to the...
Hold up. If they're... I'm just walking behind him while he's putting his helmet on and storming away. So if they're pirates and they just have to die.
Well, they're responsible for stealing all of this? Yes.
Well, if they're thieves, I understand punishment, but just because of who you are, you have to die?
Piracy is a choice. None of those folks in the Brazen Coalition have to do what they do, and they choose to do.
They're born into if they're born into being a pirate.
Right now.
Just
Look,
kill them.
Juan turns around again and with the helmet on looks much older. Look, you all have admitted yourselves that you're not from here. I am telling you that is how it is. As a member of the Sun Empire's Guard, I am telling you, you are going with us back to the capital of the Sun Empire. This is how it is. Now, I am giving you the chance to adopt your little monkey man. Come here, Jed.
Sorry.
I'm giving you that chance, but I'm warning you of what will happen should it be caught out as a member of the Brazen Coalition.
Okay.
Which will happen if it steals.
Grog, no stealing. See? No stealing.
And then we are
I
going to fix your
don't
clothes.
trust the Nixon pose.
It's V for victory, obviously.
It's V for I'm not touching anything.
Just-
It is,
I am not a crook.
it is V for vicious.
Okay, well then.
Alright. With that, we'll pick up next time with y'all heading into the rising sun with members of the Sun Empire
To get a map
to go to the capital.
and a dino.
Hopefully multiple dinos.
We're gonna,
Preferably one that flies.
Yes.
we're gonna get a map, and we're gonna get a band of the dinosaurs that have the hard heads so they can run through things. We're like, yeah!
Alright,
Get
so.
some mounted combatant feats and stuff, and all the things.
Alright. That's all I got, folks.
I'm gonna straight Deus Vault this whole.
Alright, so Monday will be Holy Winds.
Sunday will be kitchen table.
Kitchen table. Next Thursday will be the one shot because you'll be out of town.
Correct.
And then we will go back to normal schedule for the rest of June and July. LeBlanc is supposed to get back to me with what our next charity is. It's going to run part of this month and next month, or next month and part of August. So yeah, that's all we got schedule-wise, other than yesterday was Bosch's birthday, Monday was Kieth or Christina's birthday, because I can never pronounce her screen name right. So happy belated birthdays.
Happy belated birthday.
And on Facebook, on Twitch, on YouTube, on Instagram, we are Team Bonus Action. On Twitter, we are at, bonus_team. And then we're also Team Bonus Action on LinkedIn or Linktree.
We are on LinkedIn as well.
We are on
if you'd like to hire
LinkedIn.
us.
Yeah, sponsor us.
Hashtag please Waffle House.
Do it. Do it. You
Hashtag
won't.
please Rights
You
Bacon.
won't. Maybe that'll work. I don't know.
Hashtag maybe Roll20.
We'll never get one.
Never.
No, we've talked too much shit on Roll20. So that's all I think we got promotion wise. It is Nate Paints Warhammer on Instagram, and it is Ninja Spence 21 on
Instagram,
Twitch, and then
Twitter, Twitch.
and Jed's at State Farm.
Neysa does cosplay. Hopefully, I'll have more content next week. This week, next week.
All right,
Soon.
so since Knox is not here,
Don't
let
your
your meat loaf.
Thank you.